following presentation is rated TVMA.
It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Kane is in the building.
All right, everybody, open comms. Thursday night, we're back. I'm Drayden. We got Dirk McGurk. What's up, Dirk?
What is happening, my man Drayden?
Yo, we got Big Country in the house. What's up, Fabio?
Hey, what's up?
And we got Rain, Chocolate Rain.
Hello.
And we got Gama Knox with us tonight. How's it going, Gama?
It's going A-okay, man. How are you
Awesome.
doing?
I'm doing good. And then Jintan is supposed to be joining us, hopefully at some point, but we'll
He
see.
supposedly woke up for 1 o'clock. Yeah, I think at 1 o'clock in the morning for this or whatever the heck it is, and don't know where he is right now. Sullen Decimus was also supposed to be here. However, he's got tornadoes in his area, and I think power might be out in his village, and I don't think he's gonna be able to make it, which is kind of sad. I was hoping he'd be able to be here, but as long as Jintan can get here, then we will have some CSM representation, and therefore I don't know, something interesting to not be able to pull out of him or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope he's all right.
But that's fine because sorry, just swallowed my own spit.
Opening bit. We got Gama going to TwitchCon coming up very soon.
Yep.
Next
and
weekend.
that was going to be the opening anyway. So so it's kind of good if Jintan comes in a little late. That's fine. Because one of the things that we did want to do, we wanted to have Gamal on. Probably should have had him on a couple of weeks ago. However, things fall through the cracks because this is the Open Com show, and we're not always on top of things. But yeah, so we got Gamal here tonight. He's going to be a panelist out at TwitchCon. And Gamal, why don't you tell the people who look? I'm sure a lot of these people know you. This is the Matani.com. You are a streamer on the Twitch channel here, but tell us where this is a show about Eve. So tell us where you're from in Eve. Hint, hint. I'm sure it's something related to the goons. And then tell us what you're going to be doing out at TwitchCon.
Well, first of all, I got involved back in 2008 when they were Goonfleet and living in Faith Dabalis and the Drone Lands. This was back in the Darius Johnson days, and I recall the Delve invasion when we did the whole where we all just moved to 319 and then burned our ships behind us. I led a whole bunch of those fleets because I had just trained into Cobops and I was so cool in my cheetah. You guys know the feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, when you were in
Chisumi 2 months?
0-0, yeah, thank Chisumi for subbing for 2 months in a row.
Thug
I
Life.
remember when I was able to get into my first covert ops cloaking ship in Nullsec, and that completely changed the game for me in Nullsec. It's like today when people get into interceptors, right? When you know that you've got a little more freedom of movement, that not every gate is incredibly scary. That really changes things out in places like Nullsec.
I can tell you.
And Lowsec.
Do you want to know? This is a true story. I don't know. I've never told this before. Do you want to know what initially started the fires under my doing this whole show type thing and getting on the show and doing the whole where can we take this game? Do you know what it was? Covert Ops frigates. Because I got in one for the first time ever, and I thought to myself, why does this ship have fucking camo paint? Why do you have camouflage on a fucking ship in space? And you know what? Honestly, it was the first time I sat there and thought, now what if, because it's got camo paint, what if there was something on this ship that allowed you to camouflage it to something around you, like a piece of Veldspar? And that is, honestly, God, the first time in this game that I really sat and thought about taking something in this game to the next, what if, to the next level. Swear to God, it was right here with these covert ops frigates. The first time I got in it, it goes, why does this fucking, what's the buzzard? Why does it have camo paint? Nobody's looking at it. It's not like you're gonna miss it as it flies by because it's got camo paint. So I just at that point decided to do a what if, what can this become? And that is honest to God the first time that I took this game to that level of trying to think and do something cool with it.
But anyways, we can go. We can go back to these old timey things. Since we all came in around 2007, 2008. At least out of the three that were just talking.
Wow.
But not you. Didn't mean you. I'm just saying. I'm sure it was a big deal when you got into your first,
Nubro
co-op type
Lives
thing.
Matter. Yeah, actually, like blopsing, doing bombing runs were probably
Yeah.
the funnest shit in this game.
But I mean, and again, I didn't want to derail this or whatever. But he brought up, the cheetah thing and whatnot. The whole thing is that when you're not doing things like that, you're doing other things, and sometimes it just requires you going, hither and yon, right? Like I just need to go over here and buy a mod. Well, geez, there's a lot of, there may be bad guys along that route. I need to be careful. And before you had a, covert ops cloak type ship where you could, mitigate some of that risk, it was a more daunting journey. Nowadays with, nullified, insta warp interceptors, there's really no problem at all. But whatever. Anyways, I do want to get back to Gamo because I do want to hear about what it is he's going to be doing out in TwitchCon and kind of where he came from, because Gamo is one of these guys that I've been watching, and I have to say, Gamo, I have been incredibly inspired by what it is that you do as a gamer. Okay, more so lately for some other reasons, but so it's like I really do kind of want to hear your story.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that means a lot. I appreciate that. Well, my story is when I first started playing Eve, I realized that since it's so heavily mouse-based, if anyone can move a mouse, then they can really play the game. And because there are so many options in it, you don't have to be the fastest interceptor pilot in the world manually piloting all your spirals around whatever you're shooting at. You can be an industrialist, or you can metagame, or you can be a thief, or you can be a spy, and there's so many options and opportunities in this game, and that I think is really the core of accessibility. It's creating options, and that's probably one of the things I'm going to speak about when I go to the panel. There are going to be a bunch of other streamers with varying types of disabilities, so it'll be really interesting to meet the deaf guys, the people from the channel. It's called Deaf Gamers TV, and I'd recommend giving them a follow if you get a chance. It'll be really funny because I can't move my fingers, and I don't think they can read lips, so I don't know how we're going to communicate. We might have to just text each other while we're sitting side by side, but it's going to be one of the more interesting things to overcome. But that just shows how varied a group of people that are going to be part of this panel.
Well, let me ask you a question, Gamo, real quick.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Because like that's one of the things that I did like when I started playing this game was that you could move shit around, and you could, like I played games like WoW where you had to go have a like not hacked, but you had to have a modified UI to where you could come in and move your windows around and do different things. Whereas when you started playing this, the windows themselves, they already had some functionality to be moved in place. I mean, so as a new person playing this, when you started with your disability, I mean, did you find that right out of the box it was pretty the UI and the stuff like that was pretty accessible? Would say just the ability to move it around, say more than maybe other games?
I was surprised with the amount that I was able to do with it. When I first started playing, I was in some no-name high-sec corp just waiting for my Goonfleet app to get processed, and I was just flying around doing missions and mining rocks in the area around Jita, like, and any other Care Bear that just joined the game. So I had that experience, and then when so by the time I joined Goonfleet, I had a good sense of what I could do with the UI, and it turned out to be kind of a lot. And at the time I didn't have the head tracking mouse that I do today. I was using a really large Kensington mouse with like a gigantic trackball, and I was just rolling the ball with my hand and trying to click and shoot things as fast as I possibly could. So I wouldn't typically choose fast stuff. I would typically choose tankier DPS type ships where it's easier for me to do fleet fights. But I was able to do them even with that limited mobility. But getting the head tracker, that was a big game changer for me.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with hearing how you multi-box. How you run how you run Logi. I mean, these are things that a lot of able players don't want to do because guess what? They're extra, they're just extra actions per minute.
Yeah, well, the thing about Logi is that it is a lot easier to do it when you have more than one monitor and you can switch between clients on the fly like that. But if I have to juggle more than two, then it starts to get a little hairy. But it is doable. I mean, it's just a matter of identifying the problem and then solving the shit out of it.
I enjoy Logi from time to time, and I would never multi-box Logi. I just wouldn't.
So you say you science the shit out of it, huh? Are you copying that fucking movie?
Oh, heck yeah, I just watched it last night, actually.
I was gonna say, why do you need two monitors for Logi? As a Logi pilot, I never used two.
Oh, no.
Or do you mean
if
multi-boxing?
If I had one pilot as Logi and then another as
Oh.
DPS or another as a Dictor pilot or something to that effect.
If I had two I would still use two.
Flying Dictor's like multi-boxing. Like that doesn't just like cloak and then like throw bubble then cloak would be super difficult.
Like even if it's super easy, like F1 put, or even like a drone assist thing, I would still have. If I had two different clients, I would be running them on two different screens, simply because it's just so much easier to swap back and forth. Oh shit, it's Shadows. What's up, Shadows?
Oh, sweet.
Well,
yeah, the thing is that
obviously, if you can use multiple monitors, when multi-boxing, you do. But I mean, for some people out there, they don't want to multi-box because again, it's too much action. Multi-boxing things, that include Logi and some other form of thing going on. Is something for just not every Eve player. Gommel's a quadriplegic. Gommel is doing this through assistance devices that are allowing him to do that. But that doesn't. I mean, it's not like saying he's IS boxing or anything like that. That's not what we're talking here.
I was just about to say that actually. I do not use IS Boxer because it's actually I tried it and it's just too much.
Does anyone use that anymore? I thought they pretty much kicked that out.
I think they do in a more limited sense. Just not where they can control entire fleets, but where they can send single keystrokes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, look,
I was thinking
I
they have those
we're
like.
not talking about
Yeah.
multi-boxing mining here, is what I'm
No,
saying.
Yeah, well, yeah, but when
Yeah,
I
or
Xbox
like
came down, the
bombers
whole
or whatever.
multi-input thing was, I had met Gommel by the end, and I said then, look, if you're somebody who's handicapped and using IS Boxer like this allows you to play the game, I
The word is
totally think you should
the
get
word is
exemption.
disabled now.
I don't give
Well,
a
the
shit.
thing is,
You can't say handicapped
Why can't I say
No,
handicapped?
I thought it was
I don't-
not disabled. I thought it was
Because-
accessible.
because
that is our word.
because
Yeah,
that is
yeah. You can't say that. We can say this.
It's,
Dude,
yeah,
well,
it's
hold
just
on,
not the
hold on.
appropriate way of saying it.
I
It's like,
think
it's
I'm
like saying
technically-
retarded. You don't say
Wait.
retarded.
I think I'm technically handicapped, so I can say it, right?
You can call yourself that, but yeah,
Well,
you probably shouldn't
you
refer
just-
to it
I
in
think
its
you're
general sense.
You can't add a D at the end because that's where it really gets.
I just don't want people to get triggered. They've been so triggered about things that we've said in the
This is a
past.
safe
and,
space,
stuff.
guys.
Yeah, we know that this is a safe space. This has been created a safe space, and we want to keep it that way.
Anyways,
Well,
If
I
somebody-
wouldn't worry too much about offending me, but
dude, I give Gommel shit all the time, dude. He puts.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not even
yeah.
Gommel. I'm literally not even worried about Gommel. Like tonight, I was gonna wear a ski hat just to like, kind of like be one with Gommel for a little bit there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that would
but-
be awesome, dude.
But I know that on Reddit tomorrow would have been like Dirk McGurk fucking being all shitty against goddamn,
Oh, dude.
handicapped people.
Yeah.
Oh, I said handicap. Oh, I shouldn't have said handicap. Oh, it's disabled. I mean, that's exactly what it would have been, as opposed to, you know what, just trying to be, just trying to be amusing. Because I think that this is one of the things that you look out there nowadays, all right, in terms of education, okay, and inclusive classrooms, all right, and the people that are being pulled into these more inclusive environments, right, and that's for learning. But here is something where we all take for granted playing Eve, right, playing Eve with a keyboard and a mouse and all this stuff, right? We take for granted what exactly it takes in terms of dexterity to be able to do that, right? And then to see somebody who does have disabilities that says, hey, you know what? I can't click a mouse. I can't do this. I have these assistive devices and I have software that helps, but I need to master those in the way that you master using your fingers.
Well, that's what I was saying. That when this stuff came out, I had met Gommel by then. We talked about it on the show. Using ISBoxer in the way that they had not intended to use. Wanted people to use it. But also they're going, look, if using it like this allowed handicapped people to play, or accessible people, whatever, to play the game, I mean, it totally exempts. Okay, fine. You get an exemption. You can use all the input and multiplication and shit you want, because if that allows you to play. Now, if you're not someone who's handicapped, then obviously you're you shouldn't be able to utilize that. But you don't have to, right? I mean, okay. So I met Gommel when we first started streaming. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe Gommel, you have just slight use of what, your right hand.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny. I was talking about this with Boat and the Matani when I was doing the meta show over the weekend. My right arm that I use for my directional movement, it's actually increased its range of motion in the year or so that I've been streaming. And my left arm that I used to actually drive my wheelchair, that is not as doesn't have as much range of motion as it probably should. So I think the Gaming for Health people are kind of right when it comes to physical therapy, because at this point I think I might need to put a controller on my left side just to balance out my arms.
Well, I did hear you say that in the meta show the other day, and my question was, I mean, I assume that you're still doing regular physical therapy and things along those lines, right? I mean, or do you think
no,
that
actually,
no?
I mean, my injury is so old at this point that insurance really doesn't cover physical therapy. There are some places that I could go to work out and do things on the relative cheap, but I choose to spend my time streaming, which, for better or worse, is, I guess, what it is, really. I mean, I don't. That's a good question. I mean, I really don't know what the future will hold in store for my left arm. With that all said.
Well, there was a question in chat that I know now what it is, but this was also something like when because I hadn't watched you stream until we started doing the stuff with Matani.com, and then I was just checking out some of the other streamers and I saw you streaming, and when you were playing, I was like, I thought that was just like a weird microphone, and I was like, has he got like a beer hat thing like that he's drinking? I didn't know that you were quadriplegic.
Oh, yep.
And so I was like, oh man, he's got his drink right built into his hat, nice. And then it's like that I found out that you were a quadriplegic, and I was just like, how does he play?
He's got his fleet straw going. That's
well, yeah,
thought,
I was like, how does he play? And I was like trying to talk to you in chat. I was like, I don't want to be rude. Like, I don't know if like some people are touchy about, but it's like I'm curious as to like how you're playing games if you can't use your your hands and your fingers and stuff. And so there was someone in chat just now asking what devices you're using.
See, look.
Let me actually, I could probably go through that.
Wait, don't you have a thing that you have a command that you just type and it tells you,
Yep.
doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's straw. ! Straw.
Well, And here's the thing, because it's a question that I asked in the Meta Show the other day, and I was hoping that you could expand on it a little bit, in relation to the things that you use to allow you to be able to play these games. So as you talk about those, if you can also talk about the cost that is associated with those things, because if there are people out there that are listening that know anybody, you know, to where it can give them an idea of what you have. Like, we've all got our gaming rigs invested in this shit. But for you, you've got apparatus and software, you know, above and beyond.
Yeah, I do. And it's not cheap, because a lot of the companies that manufacture assistive technology, they put these products at a price point where it's assumed that the consumer has some sort of premium insurance package that will pay the ridiculous price that they're offering.
Have you?
There is one device out there that I've seen that has been really popular. I don't use it. I do own one, and it's got an incredibly large and incredibly active Google Groups community, and it's called the Quad Stick. It's very similar to the straw that I have, only instead of a straw, it's more like a harmonica that you can move up, down, left, right, and so it's like a joystick with a harmonica at the end.
Does it play
and
music?
You can put it in front of you. Well, not exactly, but it's got, I think, built into it something like 18 different ways to sip and puff. So you can map 18 different buttons and control it all with your face.
Man, because if that made sounds, you could totally mess with the people that are around you.
Oh,
While you're doing
man, I wish it could. That would be amazing.
You have to. I think if you look on the back of that, you'll see a button set it to John Popper mode from a Blues Traveler. Do you see that button?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Is that where you get fat, sweaty, and make sounds come out?
I was gonna say, Gommel, have you heard of, like, I'm assuming you know Able Gamers, but don't they help
Yep.
pay for some of those devices, like if you don't have insurance or premiums or whatnot?
They do. Of course, they are kind of the only real organization in the United States that does that sort of thing. So there's a lot of demand and a very limited supply when it comes to funding for this sort of thing. But they do fundraisers all the time. October 8th actually is a big one that's coming up, and I'm not sure if Imperium's going to be participating because we're still kind of focused on TwitchCon and then Eve Vegas, but I might do it on my own channel. So that's really another reason to follow me on Twitter and Twitch, because I'll usually talk about that sort of thing.
I got a question for you, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
All right. How useful how usable are your hands?
My hands. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
But okay, I know right now they're in the what I would say your default kung fu grip.
Yeah.
But can somebody help you assist you with opening them?
Well, that's the thing. I have very limited motion in my wrists, and I can't move my fingers at all. So I couldn't even clench my fist.
No, that's what I'm asking. I'm saying I understand that maybe you can't, but if somebody came over, could they physically unclench your fist for you?
It depends on the hand. My left hand, you can probably extend the fingers all the way, but my right hand, the knuckles I think are permanently bent at the second knuckle.
Was that because they did that on
all
purpose?
fingers.
Or
No, actually, it just kind of happened that way. That's just part of spinal cord injury, is that you end up with a bit of atrophy in the muscles, and that kind of pulls
I've
the
been looking at a lot of the stuff they're doing for
tendons and
VR stuff
ligaments
that's coming
tight.
out. And I'm telling for you, some of this stuff is actually something I'm like, man, because what they have, they're coming out with, obviously they're coming out, once they get the glasses down, the next thing they're talking about is the sensory stuff for
like controllers, handheld type
Well, yeah,
things.
they have those for the Vive. Like the Oculus that they have has some, but they're not as good. And the Vive ones obviously wouldn't be something for you because of your hands. But one of the things I was looking at, I forget what it's for, but they have they're basically gloves with sensor pads. So I mean, even if you could have somebody just stretch your hand out, put this glove on, and even if your hand just naturally relaxes back to, say, we're just gonna call
We're doing a
kung fu
shot.
grip.
Shot to you, Gum.
You could still, if you could just move your fingertips, it would create a whole new way of you to control just using these kind of gloves that I was looking at.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have, when I was doing physical therapy, they call them grip gloves, and they are this really clever leather glove, and it attaches around the wrist, and it goes over the fingers, and it would let me grip things like a barbell or
Well, yeah, it may be all that technology.
that
but
other
this is
stuff.
something that has sensors in the fingertips and stuff, so that you can touch your fingers. Like even just a slight motion would allow you to do all kinds of things inside the VR environment.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
So I'm
Yeah, I
saying-
don't know if
so
I'd
for-
be able to actually do that because I don't have sensation in my fingertips anyway. So that makes that would make it a little difficult.
You may not have sensation, but I'll tell you this: from personal experience I have with my legs, like I don't have a lot of feeling in my leg either. But I do know, just off of surroundings, when I've touched my leg, kind of weird, I know. But I mean, but I was looking at this and it's like, have you looked into these VR systems and kind of looked at where they're taking them and wondered, or looked to see if maybe they aren't possibly going to replace like a lot of currently. I mean, I've said this for gaming people that are handicapped, and maybe not even just gaming people, just in general, because again, you use a motion tracker on your helmet, on your head. You use a little controller down by your hand. So, in a sense, it's the same thing. You put on a VR helmet, and when you turn your head in your VR helmet, that's it. That's all you need. It turns your head and then
Yeah,
and
it is.
the thing. And even
it's
now
very
they have.
similar to the VR setup. The only concern, and this is something that we're gonna discuss, we're definitely going to hit upon this topic at the panel because VR is clearly going to be the future of, or part of the future of the gaming landscape. There are going to be VR games, and it's going to be happening. So if we're going to embrace that, then we need to find a way to make it so it's possible for me to at least in some way interact with the buttons on the side of the helmet or anything, any other ancillary controllers like handles or guns and things like that. Inclusion, nice.
No, well, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there because I was trying to remember the term before, and it's called people first language. Okay, so people first language says that it's called disability. Inappropriate language, handicapped. Okay, people first language, intellectual disability. Inappropriate language, retarded or mental retardation. Okay, Nancy uses a wheelchair. That's people first language. Nancy is wheelchair bound or confined to a wheelchair is inappropriate language. So
What?
I'm telling you right.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Wait.
Today I learned.
See the book? This is in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book called Inclusion.
How old is that
So-
book? That
I love that you have a book called Inclusion, Dirk. I just
So
want
I've-
to get that out there.
While Dirk is being
Person
politically
has
correct,
Down syndrome is people first language. She's Downs is not.
I've posted in chat or in TeamSpeak Trade, and Stump Floors actually went to PAX Prime or PAX West now, and he actually did. He got a Able Gamer shirt. He went to their booth or whatever. I know I saw them when I went to PAX South. Yeah. No, because he can't put it in Twitch. He might have just gotten banned or timed out.
Since we don't have Jintan here still yet, so we're gonna continue going
Well, I'll
with
just have a
this
quick question.
because I know, which is good because we've actually got more here. But hold on. Drayden, did you pull something?
I did, and it actually sent out an automated message. So it put a thing out when I did it. It's like the winner is Mandelbrot 5. He's like, what?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine because what we are doing here, we've got some not some game time codes. We've got some rookie pirate faction ship codes or whatever the hell those things are. Pirate, I don't know, whatever the hell they are. We're giving them away tonight. We've got a few of those to give away, courtesy of CCP from back during Eve Northeast. That I still haven't given all of them away yet. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a drawing just based on the people who in chat who had already spoken at the time, as opposed to that, hey, everybody, X up or say something stupid kind of a thing. We'll do that for the rest of them. But the first one I wanted to go out to just whoever had already talked in channel. So make sure you get him into a whisper conversation or something. Give him his code so that he can, I don't know, get like this cool, probably worth like what 250 million-isk little rookie or pirate
Hell
faction frigate code or whatever.
Yep, I'll send it to him,
I like
and then
those.
if you want, I'm using the top one, Dirk. So if you want to like black that one out,
Okay.
maybe put his name
Lucky
next to it.
guy.
But
Well, since Gombo's here, and Dirk's got his book, is it inappropriate when I tell people that I want to apply for a helper monkey so that when it jerks me off, its hands make my little hands make my dick look big? Is it inappropriate?
It's inappropriate.
oh, also
to
real
both,
quick,
to
I
both
mean-
monkeys and the disabled.
where's
I think we could all agree that on two things. One, zoophilia, bad, not a good
Okay.
thing. And two, helper monkeys, totally feasible. I actually looked into this about 10 years ago.
But it also
and
might
then-
rip your face off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's actually when I decided that might not be the best way to go about things. But they do have a program where disabled people can get helper monkeys. They're
Yeah, they make you sandwiches
capuchin
and stuff.
monkeys. There's actually a philanthropy out of Boston that does that. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
No, but I mean for real, it's a true thing. It's a true thing. They can like they treat these monkeys like making sandwiches and shit like that. It's like what?
All right,
Awesome.
real quick, for these codes, where do they enter these in at to redeem it? Do they have to go to the Eve website, or
Yes.
can they do it
Yes.
in game? Okay, so you go to in game and redeem a code there.
No.
No,
You
well,
gotta- it's through the website, and it will then put it into their redeemables in game. So they need to log into their account out on the Eve website, and
Right.
then they need to redeem.
I'm assuming
code
there's
or
like a
something
redeem
that.
code button somewhere in the
Yeah,
account
something like that,
section.
yep.
Okay, and then
All
they
I know
log
is
in,
I
and then they
gave
drag
away
the
a code.
Okay, so you redeem the code, you log in, and then you drag the redeemable item from the bottom up onto the character that you want. So
Correct. Well, hold on. You redeem the code on the account.
right on
okay?
the account.
And then when you
Yep.
log into the
That
game,
account,
there'll be
it'll show
something down at the
redeemable
bottom of your
items
login
like-
screen.
Yeah, like holiday items
Yeah.
and stuff. You just drag it onto your
Right.
account. It'll have a skin for it, or an actual ship,
Yep.
not a skin.
And you can drag them if you're in a citadel.
Oh,
Yay! About time.
well,
Oh, by the
pour up
way,
one more
may as
shot.
well-
We started off a little slow on these, so I'm gonna get one more going.
Yeah, I've already got one poured. What I do want to throw out here, because Gommel is going to he's going to TwitchCon. He doesn't. Where's that? San Diego?
Yep. That's
Alright.
it's a kind of a hike actually. It's funny. I'm going from one large border town to another because I'm from outside Detroit. So
Which
Going from
literally has
Detroit,
a high
yeah.
number of Mexicans that come through the Detroit area. Yeah, let's
well,
see.
we
Let
do
me
have our own
find.
Mexican town. There is that.
All right. But what I want to, what I wanted to say is that, as part of him going, there are certain expenses that are associated with that, and there, just in terms of travel, the need on the other end to rent an accessible vehicle, that can hike him around, all of this kind of stuff. We do not normally. It has been a long time since we've asked for anybody to kind of like dig deep into a real world pocket here, because it got to the point there back in late last year and stuff like that, where it seemed like this stuff was coming up for various forms of donations quite a bit. That's kind of one of the new things. Look, if you're somebody that watches Gommel on the Matani.com, if you're somebody that, you know, sits there and says, you know what, this is really cool, Gommel's not going out to TwitchCon to visit
hang out
TwitchCon.
and get drunk.
That's right. This
and
isn't
party
about how
like
do you
we
get
are for
Gommel.
Vegas.
That's right. This is not how do you get Gommel to Vegas. Okay. Gommel's going out there to participate in a panel that is associated with something that I think needs more recognition and understanding out there within not just this community, but within the overall gaming community out there in general. So if you can help him out, it would be much appreciated. We're not going to sit there and, like, you know, kill everybody. We're going to throw it in channel right now. This goes directly to his Twitch stream donations page. You know, so, you know, if you can help him out, that would be, yeah, again, much appreciated. So shots to all of you who do kick in. We're not going to bash your skulls in all night. Oh my God. So I just read that guy's name, Bashing Skulls 17, and like it got into my head. But yeah, anyways, whatever. Shot to all of you who are out there, you know, and can help out. You know, look, if it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $100, whatever. If you want to give the guy $1 million, good on you. You know, whatever.
Oh, that's a very good question. If I get drunk, could I technically be guilty of a DUI? The answer is no.
Awesome.
Does that question get asked
Tested
often?
and proven, no. But I mean, who knows what the laws are like in San Diego? So, I mean, hell, we might even end up in international waters. So, who knows what's gonna happen?
It sounds like The Hangover waiting to happen. Like a
Oh,
movie.
jeez.
I've been there.
It's gonna be
not
crazy.
fun.
We
But
never
yeah,
we
the
never
thing
got
is
to
about
it.
accessible travel that I just wanted to mention before you guys moved on is that since I'm not taking the power chair that I spend all my life in because it's so important to me and I don't want to risk it being damaged or lost in transit, I'm also renting, in addition to renting a van, I'm renting an actual chair to use while I'm in San Diego. So I'll be taking
Totally makes sense.
yeah, so I'll be taking like a lighter manual chair that I get pushed around in that's that I really can't control, and that's how I'm going to be going through the airport and customs and all that, because if that's something that's collapsible and we can put it in the cabin of the plane instead of at the underbelly or whatever, or in whatever they call the cargo area.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what, dude. I got to give you props, man.
How much
because-
does your chair cost? And I'm sorry, go ahead, BC, but how much does your chair cost?
God, the actual chair that I'm using, well, I get it paid for every like 7 years, but normally a chair like this would cost about as much as a car, like 20 grand. maybe
Yeah.
25.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's not something you want to risk, with like
Yeah.
freaking,
So it's-
Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, so that's
That's
not
why
one of
we were
those.
so
It's not like a
happy that
hover
we were
round
able to
or one of
find
those.
A company that could rent us a chair, that like a power chair that I could use for just 4 days while I'm in San Diego.
So
Well,
I think
I'll tell
BC,
you-
you had something?
I was just gonna say, look, dude. Yeah, this is gonna sound a little bit self-deprecating, but I gotta give you props, dude, because as somebody who has literally spent the last 3 months pretty much 24/7 in the bed. I couldn't imagine, dude. I mean, it's I can imagine, could never imagine this, let alone having just be kind of like wheelchair bound either. I mean, this is bad enough. Laying in a fucking bed is bad enough. So,
You mean using a wheelchair, not wheelchair bound?
well, I'm saying, because
Yeah, well,
he's.
yeah.
I mean, you pretty much spend your day in the chair, though, right? Don't you spend a predominant most of your day there?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, depending
Not
on
when he's
my-
not streaming, he doesn't. Then he gets up and like walks out to the living room and watches TV like the rest of us.
there are streamers who do that. Like there are streamers who like will fake
How
illnesses
funny
or
would it
fake
be if I just
disability.
like got up?
Oh my
and
god,
left right
dude!
now?
If you're like, oh my god, I gotta piss right now, and like
And I
got up
just,
and
like,
walked
stood
off,
up and
I'd be
left.
like,
That'd
oh
be
shit,
hilarious.
what the fuck?
Oh man. So yeah, it's but Mandelbro asked a good question. It's all medical markup. Because
It is
you
because they
have-
know
it's
there's some
the
insurance
expense
thing
of-
coming in, right?
Well, it's the expense of knowing, not just that, but you have to make sure that the product is medically sound because you could get sued if it isn't, and all of those things add up. So that's why it ends up being 20,000 a chair.
Do you have
Well,
a fair-
that's
do you
actually-
have what I'll call a fairly advanced chair? I mean, this is not just back,
It doesn't,
forward,
like,
backward,
raise
left,
up and
right.
down. It'll tilt back. It's more advanced than the first one I got, and I think I'm due for another one in like 3 years. So, it's good. It's good for what it does. It's not too tall. Thank God for the van that I have, which I also actually could lay at the feet of Imperium Charity, because last year that's how I started streaming. Was I had a contest to win a minivan, and someone saw a video of me playing Eve, and they were like, "Hey, you should stream." And then they got me in touch with Scion, and then I got a show, and now I'm here. It's
Is somebody building you a ramp right now?
oh.
Or was that in BC's house where fucking hammering was going on?
My wife is just getting some stuff ready. I was gonna eat some dinner after this.
Well, that's what I was asking. I mean, I'm just saying. I thought you, even like when you weren't streaming, you still stayed in your chair. Predominantly.
Oh, well,
most of your day.
I get up in my chair usually sometime between noon and 3, depending on what my morning is like. But I know what it's like. I mean, I too have spent a ridiculous amount of time bedbound. Wait, shit, that's not the right word.
No, it wouldn't be the right word. It would be like in a bed sometimes.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
It's not
I mean,
sometimes.
I had to actually quit Eve back in 2010 because I spent so much time up in my chair that I developed a pressure sore on the back of my leg. So that took like 18 months to heal, and during that whole time I could not play Eve at all.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you wear like a compression suit while you're sitting?
I wear compression hose. Yep. I wear a compression hose. I was actually thinking about tweeting something along the lines of, "At least your stockings don't cost $37 a pair."
think-
#feminism.
Okay,
Hey, hold on,
okay.
here you go.
So
That's
if
not
you're
true.
gonna buy
That's not true.
really
It's
good
like, hold on.
pantyhose,
Some back seam
you will
pantyhose,
spend that
you know,
much. You will
stockings
spend
look
that
really
much.
nice.
Here you go, Gommel. Here you go. The stuff I need, I literally just bought 2 days ago. It's a 10-foot roll, and it cost me $134 for a 10-foot roll.
What?
That I'll probably be able to get maybe 4 sleeves out of.
Oh, dang. I need to look into this.
I missed the first half of that conversation. I just heard a 10-foot roll.
Well,
I was
yeah,
about
you
to
know,
ask of toilet
We're
paper.
not gonna
I
get
have,
back to it.
I have lymphedema in my legs, so it's a buildup of the fluid. So it's this tubular stocking stuff. It's basically a cotton type thing that you slide over your legs, and it creates pressure.
Yep.
So for me, because my leg is so big, I need a bigger size. Just for a 10-foot roll of it was $134 plus shipping.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. But
One of these
for-
days we
yeah,
will
I
have a
read the same
comparison
thing.
between the 3 months
No,
that
I'm
BC
saying,
has spent in
no,
bed
I'm just saying medical.
and the
shit
3
is
months
over.
that Rain has spent in bed.
Well,
What?
listen,
Huh?
the medical shit
What are you
is so
trying to
expensive.
say?
All we've ever seen you in is a chair or the bed. So it's like, as far as we know, you don't
never,
leave that
oh,
room.
actually, yeah, that one time. I mean, granted,
I
I
don't think
spend
she's
the
actually
majority of
allowed
my
to
time
leave this
right here.
room.
I don't think she is.
Are you confined? Are you trapped? Have you been kidnapped?
I've been kidnapped. I'm in what these call these streamer houses, where they just force a bunch of girls to wear low-cut shirts and stream.
No. What's that one movie? What's that one movie with the Ryan?
China Gamer House?
No, Ryan Reynolds, where his daughter gets kidnapped and they put her in like a little room and they hook her on the internet and they use her to bait like other kids onto the from the internet. Is that what you are, dirty girl?
Huh?
If I'm kidnapped, how am I the dirty girl? What the fuck?
You ever seen that movie where his daughter gets kidnapped and they literally put her on the internet?
Taken?
Oh.
And they use her. They use her to go talk to other kids and try to get them to like meet them places so they can kidnap them and put them in like child porn rings and shit.
Are you
I've never
sure that
seen
wasn't a documentary?
No, it's
I-
a movie.
I am watching the clock here because I know at some point, okay, as much as Gommel is a good fucking player at at all this and shit like that, I know at some point we will go off those rails and we will need to move on to something that is less sensitive in some ways.
Right.
What?
But yeah, before we start getting into abduction of women and fucking sexual slavery.
We're not even an hour into the show. We gotta
Hold on.
pace ourselves
Nobody's
here.
going there. It's just a movie. Jesus.
Well, I know, but believe me, a movie then gets into holy
It's
shit.
the gateway drug.
Yesterday on Twitter, I saw
Marijuana is just marijuana, but then the next thing you know, you're
if
doing
anybody
crack in
has
the
nothing to
corner.
worry about being abducted is Gommel. They don't want to put all that shit in their
Yeah,
car.
that's true. I might get stolen by somebody over the weekend. I have no idea. All I really know is that I'm going to be landing in San Diego on Friday at like 10 o'clock or something, and that I have a panel on Saturday at 10.
So
That's all I know.
do you have someone going with you and everything? I'm assuming, yeah.
Oh, that's the best part. My wife and my parents.
Okay. I was gonna
well,
say I have friends
I'm
there
bringing my
if you need
parents to a
help.
Matani party.
Oh, your parents getting to go on the
man.
yacht.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, see, you know what? See, everybody out there jokes about the yacht and everything, but that's not just for.
They get to
freaking
see the
boat
horny
and
white boy
Matani
party?
and shit.
Damn.
Yep.
By the
Yeah,
way,
I'm
Skeptic
dragging
nerd
them-
guy is somehow going to get there too, and that's
Yep.
I don't know, whatever. He's got something in or some shit.
Oh, he's a local, I think.
Yeah, I
Oh.
know.
Hey,
We
He
are
probably
Dan-
watches the
by-
boat during the week.
Daniel's
Yeah.
Daniel's in San Diego. You get Daniel on there. I'm sure he'll weasel his
We-
way in.
Well, get
By
the
Gin
white
Tan?
guy is.
In your
Nerd
condition,
guy.
can you eat shrimp?
spawned.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
I
hello.
can eat
Alright, just
all
making
kinds
sure.
of seafood. I actually do family reunions out on the East Coast, and we do a lot of seafood. And a big family tradition is oyster shooters. I don't know if you guys are.
Derek, you know Skeptic
Do
Nerd, right?
those.
He's the new Scion.
I know who
Dirk?
skeptic nerd guy is, but it's more fun to pretend like he's the guy washing Matani's boat out there.
Before you move on, I have to ask: has anybody ever tried to jack you for your chair? Like, give me a chair, handicap bastard.
Oh no, actually, because I mean, it would just be.
So you
too
never
much
go
of a
to
pain in
Chicago?
the ass to get me out of it.
You could run him over. How much speed you got in that thing?
You'd be surprised. I mean,
It's not about the speed.
I got
you-
4 different speeds
I
on this
just-
chair, so.
I just imagine you should actually take the emote you got for the Twitch chat for like your for your thing is like put that on your chair.
See, and now skeptic nerd guy's going, it's not his boat. I know, we need to cover up for it's not his boat. The TMC.boat is not his boat. It's a corporate boat.
The
Is it Boat's boat?
SSRMT.
The SSRMT.
Oh my god.
Real
my God,
maritime
Jin Tan
transport.
finally
Yeah,
showed
Jin
up.
Tan.
Hello,
He's
I've
been here for a
saying
while.
This.
Yeah, you
when,
guys were too busy talking about your goddamn.
when have you
yacht.
been saying this?
I'm like, guys, Jintan's here. Hello, team.
When did
and
you
you're
say
like,
that? I
I'm
totally
on the
didn't hear
phone,
you.
motherfucker. Like,
Okay,
I don't
but
know.
but anyways,
Why does that sound like a really bad superhero name?
No, actually pronounced that way, but sure.
we will definitely be getting to Jin Tan in a second. I do, I do want to, kind of wrap up this segment here. I had a question. Shit, I haven't lost all my questions yet, have I?
I got a
Definitely
question.
berate
No.
me for like waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And what'd you do?
sending that
Fall back
tweet.
to sleep again?
I got up with my alarm. Thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna text it. I'm gonna tweet at Dirk and let him know.
Look,
that
I'm
I
up.
got up.
Look, I'm
okay.
up. Snooze.
Got up, sent that tweet, immediately just fell back asleep. I was up for like maybe 5 minutes.
Hashtag blame Brexit.
Yeah, obviously.
Gommel, I want to go back to the actual topic that you're going to be talking about out there. Is this going to be kind of a multi-disability panel talking about gaming?
Yes.
How exactly is it set up?
It will definitely be a multidisability panel. So what we will be focusing on are we each have an area of expertise. Without giving too much away, I'll tell you what mine is. I'm going to be speaking about assistive technology and the gaming industry in general, specifically the need for a set of industry-created accessibility standards. So not necessarily like regulation where there's a disability police going around making sure every game is as accessible as possible for everyone, but rather some sort of statement from the industry, from developers, from hardware makers, everyone from Razer to Cooler Master to Tryon, everybody getting together to say, this is what makes a game accessible, so that when a game is released, people can say, oh, it's this level of accessibility, I could probably play it. Or
Well, see, now that what you said right there, that is something that probably is pretty easy for consoles to do because they have, here's the system it's always going to be.
Well,
so
I mean, yes and no. There are actually two different sets of accessibility standards out there right now, and that's going to be the really difficult part because there are already two in existence. So I have to figure out where.
Well, yes, but I mean, hold on, but I mean,
Oh yeah,
you're interfacing with the console with a controller always. So I mean, that is going to be your standard. Is can whatever I have emulate the functions of a controller? Whereas with a computer, it could be either controller and or keyboard and mouse.
Well, there are some devices out there that I believe there's one called the Cronus Max, which allows you to use a computer to send like game paddle commands to a console. So things like that do exist, but it could be made better. The thing I really want to get across, though, is that accessibility is all about making sure there are as many options as possible. And I remember saying on Twitter the other day, why couldn't anyone make a modular controller that could be assembled by the user the exact way they want, so that all the buttons are in exactly the same place as they want them to be, and then the user gets to decide the layout of the game paddle, and that is, I think, is a product that even able-bodied players would like to have.
Yeah.
Well,
Am I
that's exactly how the new Steam controller was supposed to be. You were supposed to
Really?
be able to, yes, you're supposed to be able to have. It was basically be a controller, and it was supposed to be modular, to where you can put your buttons in different areas and stuff like that. And I think they found that one, probably most people, not handicapped, sorry, accessible, whatever, are probably stick to the tried-true form of Xbox and PlayStation setups. And two, again, without making a huge controller, I think you're limited on just how much space you can actually use. So they ended up kind of ditching that whole modular controller idea and coming up with what they did, which is kind of it's very similar to, say, the controller setups that we have, but they added some stuff like dual action triggers and bumpers underneath, and then the haptic pads that simulate mouse movement and stuff like that to the setup, to where it's not horrible, but it's not great. So
Yeah, I see.
I think they found that there's some issues with doing modular. If you're going to do modular, you need a decent amount of space, right?
The main problem with it is
Brain.
just how difficult
Yeah,
it is
I think
to.
it's about the size. But then again,
Yeah.
a modular controller could be, you could just make sure you could not use specific buttons, or I mean, this was just a very, very rough idea, and
No,
I had
I
no
mean,
idea
I'm
that
just saying,
Steam actually even tried this.
Yes,
but
well, it was definitely one of the things that Steam was going to come out and try. But again, I think what they found out is because they mentioned something about it, is that, again, people just typically stick to either I'll run an Xbox controller or I'll run a PlayStation, clone, whatever.
Yep.
So, and again, but my question real quick before we move on, when you were talking about accessibility standards, I thought you were talking about the ability to, and you kind of thought it was, but so I was kind of curious why you didn't. What I'm trying to pick up what I'm saying is the fact that there is like a level of conformity when you go to, say, a console. When I buy a console game, there is no doubt in my mind that it will play it because my console is set hardware and is set to play this game. Whereas if I buy the same game for the PC, there may be some question to how well it will run because of the wide variety of hardware that can be in a PC. So when you're talking about
Yeah, but I don't think that matters for the accessibility features that that he's talking about. The programming
hold on,
in the
that's-
game as being able to accept these other forms of inputs, whether it's PC or whether it is console. I'm not sure.
But that's what I was saying.
Matters.
I was asking you, wouldn't it not be easier to have a standard like this for consoles, knowing that the interface, the predominant interface for that console is here's the controller and here's how the controller buttons are all set up. Now, determining what the buttons do is one thing, but again, nonetheless, that controller is always going to be that way. Versus, say, a PC where it may be a game that uses the keyboard and mouse, or maybe you can use a controller, but you have to set up, uniquely for that. So I'm saying,
I was just gonna say, Big Country, you've actually hit right on the head the number one reason why so many disabled gamers are PC gamers.
okay,
Just simply because if they can't hold or use a console paddle, the traditional shape of a console paddle, if that's not usable for them, they have to find something else. And PC, there are so many different PC inputs that you could even build your own at this point. And a lot of disabled gamers go DIY, and they'll
Thank God
build
for
their own
the whole
controller.
function key type thing, right? Where you can and granted, I'm not talking about the actual keys themselves, but there are so many different combinations when you get involved with things that use keyboard and mice compared to just a controller, that I imagine that programmers can create all kinds of different scenarios for software-based PC usage.
I would.
Right, and
Go ahead.
I was
No,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
say, and another important thing, and this is one of the points that both standards of accessibility agree upon, is that the ability to remap any keystroke in a game is absolutely crucial to accessibility, because if you can't remap the buttons, then it doesn't really matter what you do, because you're going to be locked into hitting very specific keys that might not be
well, that's why I'm saying maybe,
reachable.
again, knowing your situation, for you, probably not so. But the Steam controller, I will say, what they did do, okay? I definitely endorse the Steam Link for anybody that wants that technology. Steam Link is great. It's well worth your money. The Steam controller is not so much. They have some issues, but what they've done, kind of what you're saying is, it is 100% customizable in that its buttons are set in place, okay? But you can go into the configuration of that controller, and you can set these buttons to do a million different things, whether it's just be triangle is when you push the triangle button, or have it even set to do when you hit that triangle button, it does a whole slew of things at once. I mean, so I think for like what you're talking about, maybe the software component or the software to hardware type thing is something that is necessary. But again, like you said, coming up with a controller. Somebody had mentioned Able Gamers earlier. I've talked to you enough about this. I know you told me at one point the Able Gamers. Is it Able Gamers that goes out and they actually, you donate controllers in, and they take these controllers and build custom controllers?
Yep, that's exactly it. They will.
And
they did a controller drive where people would turn in their old console controllers. They would just take them apart, cannibalize them, and turn them into some really fascinating assistive tech. I mean, all of the hardware looks custom made, which is the problem, because it's difficult to service a product like that. But it's undeniable that you can just see the smiles on these kids' faces when they're playing even the most simple of video games. It's just awesome.
The other
Really
thing,
awesome.
to bring it back to the console thing, that I was the thing that would because I mean with your apparatus thing you have on your head, is like you got the thing where like it's basically like mouse movement, and then the sit puff is like clicking on the mouse. But when you get to consoles, most of them now have dual joysticks, and I don't know how they would incorporate two joystick functions into something that you could use. Maybe someone's smarter than I am, but it just seems like that would be like you could get one joystick function going, but to have another one doing a different thing at the same time seems like it might be pretty difficult.
Yeah, it does sound like it. I might have to go the same route that I do with first person shooters, and maybe just find a way to make my head control one stick and then my arm control the other.
Yeah.
And Urandus, that's all I've ever done, ever.
We have reached the 1 hour mark here, so the Open Comms with Disabilities Act has expired as of this time.
Yep, I gotta get
but-
going because
But I
gotta
do
eat
want
some
to
food, too.
throw this out to you, Accessible, because this is the Open Comm show, and because this is the Matani.com, where we don't kind of pull punches, right? With CCP, and we're willing to ask the hard questions. Here's a question for you: when you're out there, are you going to are you willing to call out developers out there who have not built this kind of accessibility into their games?
That's a very good question, and it's one
I don't want you to
I've
be
actually been
toxic,
thinking
but I
about.
just want to know if you're going to call them out.
I might. There's one company in particular that I've spent probably just shy of $100 on their products. It's actually the Total War line, and they are all unplayable. They're all absolutely unplayable. I am trying to get the developer of the Natural Point infrared headset to create a patch that will allow me to play these games, but I've been talking to their support for, oh God, it must have been a good at least 4 months, just back and forth with their tech support, trying to figure out why I couldn't play these games using my infrared headset. And they said it was finally the driver of the mouse drivers, so they got in touch with the person making that, and now it's in his hands. So
Well, I mean,
I think they kind of passed the buck, but there are other companies that I've had more success with, like who does Star Wars Battlefront? I think it's Origin, right?
Yeah, I think is it?
Or EA or something like that.
it sounds like those
Yeah,
other guys
yeah.
though that they at least have been trying to help you, even though I
Yeah.
guess they kind of passed it off. Are there other like companies that just like ignore you? They say, "Well, you're SOL. We're not gonna do shit."
No, actually, if I have a problem that is making a game unplayable and I need to contact support, oh, thank you, it is EA. Yeah, in the case of EA, someone else had made a thread, and I just on their forums, and I just posted in it and tweeted about it a few times, and after a while, I wouldn't hear anything, but then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they said, "Hey, we've made this game compatible with the joystick that you use," because there was this weird conflict where I would use the joystick to perform an action, and it would set a keystroke, but it would also act as a joystick. The game detected it as a joystick as well. So it was throwing two commands at once, and it was just a mess. But
Do you have
I fixed it,
Do you have any
and-
issues with how CCP has developed this? I mean, it looks as though from your ability to play Eve, that those with physical disabilities can find a way to play Eve. Are you
Yeah,
disappointed with them in any way at all, that
I'm
those
gonna
with intellectual
probably-
disabilities have a harder time with it?
I think Eve is probably one of, aside from the learning curve, Eve is one of the best
I am
games.
joking here, so please joke back with me for a second, okay?
That
Well,
said,
hold on,
though,
no, jokes
Wow,
aside,
I
you guys
really
jokes
do
aside, I
wish
mean,
CCP
sarcastic
liked this
person I've ever
more.
heard.
Wait,
What?
I was just I remember Gommel was definitely one of the first to speak out when they updated the camera and say,
That's true.
"This is just not."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, you had not only Gommel, but then like people like Zach, and I think
Avalon,
Fintaru.
yeah.
That messed
Who,
a
like,
whole
they
bunch
love
of
the
us
camera,
up,
but, like,
please.
but yeah, there were other people too. I remember this guy in charge of like doing screenshots, just simple screenshots for promotional stuff. He could not use the new camera at all to take anything good. So yeah, I mean, it affects not just the disabled, but yeah, the new UI setup. They've made changes, and it's actually pretty good now. Even the zooming in and out issue, that they put that on the new camera, so that's really great.
I remember there were issues back in the day for people who were just colorblind. Okay, and I remember people being like, whatever, and then there are, of course, a number of people out there, a lot of people out there, who were like, no, you can't mess that up for people who are colorblind and, and things like that, right? We have moved into such a completely different kind of dimension in terms of human beings being able to access video games, right? This is not about the Americans with Disability Act or anything like that, whatever it is in your country, wherever you're listening, for being able to access kind of common facilities, right? The ability for human beings who don't quite have the same physical wherewithal or what have you to be able to access playing video games. I have to say, the mere fact that there are developers out there who recognize this and are working with it, I find to be truly amazing.
I do intend to give a big shout out to EVE Online, though, as being an actually very accessible game. And not only is it accessible, but it's also such an incredibly social game that the mental health benefits of playing EVE Online in a group setting with people that you become friends with that you rarely ever meet is it's just indescribable. I mean, I was in a fairly low place in my life around 2012, 2013. I started playing EVE again, and just like getting into theta comms and saying, "Hey guys," and then having a few people say, "Hey Gamal," I mean, that just made my day. And having that so many times.
I'm gonna throw this out there on a couple of different ranges. The whole idea, and I'm not going back to the book right now, but the whole idea of inclusivity, right? Being an inclusive environment is not good just for those people who it brings in, okay, like to where you can do this, right? But it is also helpful and it is also beneficial for the broader community of any game out there, for the broader community of any society out there in a myriad of ways.
Yeah, I mean, just ask yourself this one simple question. When you get to the age of 55 or 60, are you going to stop playing video games?
No,
if I'm still playing this game at that point, please, I would literally dox myself so that somebody can come and kill me.
I'm pretty sure when I'm on my deathbed, I'll have some kind of handheld device that I can play.
I want to say real quick, thanks to Gobble for coming on the show. He is my favorite dirty little cripple, and don't let the bed bugs get you.
Thanks, dude. I got to get going, and I want to let Jintan get his time too. So thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you guys so much for any of the donations. Very much appreciated on behalf of me and my family. Really thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for coming on. I look forward to re-listening to the first couple of 45 minutes of that.
Well, we'll definitely be hosting it here on TMC. So
yeah.
We have Jin Tam, who sounds like a dirty little Chinese girl. What are you doing?
Well, I sound like okay.
Your name, Jim Tam. Jim Tam?
Yin Tom.
Yin Tom? I don't know how you say it.
It's not that bad, man.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I had to walk away for a second. You know what? Let me just say thanks, Gamal. I mean, because again, there's some shit that even in Dirk's world, okay, like fucking inspires him. You know, there have been
What?
times when I've watched him playing games where tears have come to my eyes.
Whatever.
I swear to God, dude, I am like, I mean,
he's cool and
believe
all,
me,
but he's not inspirational.
Dirkistan would be a bad place, and I'm not even saying that, like, I would, whatever. But deep down, I still kind of
Dirk
have
watches
this
Gobble
thing.
and all of a sudden he hears do 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 do. Exactly.
But I do want to thank Jintan for like not hitting his snooze button the 12th time and getting here.
Was Jintan coming on camera?
And the pin, Jintan, question.
We don't have his Skype details.
Yo,
and
Jintan,
stuff.
what's your Skype?
It's my real name, so I'll DM it to you.
All right, Jintan, this is how you
It's
validate.
his
yourself,
real
okay?
name, Bobby
Yeah.
Jones.
Just,
Okay.
just tell it to us on this stream. I don't see an issue in this at all. I'm joking. Don't do that.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
don't
here
do
we go.
that.
You guys, please.
Why are you trying to
Hold on.
dox him? Why are you trying
Hey,
to make him
Jintan.
dox himself?
You there, Jintan? Time to validate yourself. Best.
No, let me go
best
find
sections.
my camera. Like,
Hold on.
I'm like half dressed, but I'm sure. it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
really, dude.
So
it
we
doesn't
are,
matter. It's
all
just
of
like the
us do.
CSM. It's
No
just
pants.
like the CSM, man. It's just like Iceland, half dressed.
I don't even have pants on right now.
Yeah,
Yo,
who's got pants?
we were all
Here,
well
Jintan, here you go.
dressed.
Best scene of Top Gun. Is it A, the guy they're playing volleyball, the guys? B, him over there at the chick's house, they're making it out. Or C, anytime they play Danger Zone. Come on.
I'm sorry. I.
He's never seen it. He's not even
You've
from
never
here.
seen
He's
Top
never
Gun?
seen it.
Oh no, of course
It's
I've
an
seen Top
American
Gun.
movie.
They don't have a British Top Gun movie. You know why? Because they don't like really have planes
No,
that can
I've seen-
fly
I've
next to
seen-
Soviet aircraft.
Jesus.
I've seen Top Gun. You guys used to literally sit off the north coast of fucking.
Can you imagine?
England.
Hold on. Now we got to stop. Forget that. Imagine real quick, everybody in your mind, everybody who's listening, stop. Now imagine. Not on BBC One. British version of Top Gun. What song would it be?
Oh my god, it would be something awful. It'd be like something. It would like probably be something by Adele, and then I'd have to kill myself because Top Gun is a classic movie.
Adele singing Danger Zone.
Yo, I can actually get behind that. That's
Oh my god, dude, that might be badass.
That might actually be pretty badass.
That might be
okay,
the badass
honestly.
thing ever.
But anyways, I do want to thank Jintan for coming. I do want to thank Jintan for coming. Not only because he actually showed up, but because
Well, I have to do my preliminary thing.
but because he's here in the second hour, which the second hour of the Open Com show is the one where like we're not
Well,
going
the
to like
question is,
beat him down and
Jintan,
like,
have
it'll
you
just
ever
be
listened
hard.
to or even heard of this show before?
No, I've heard of the show a fair amount. Like
He
Oh,
he
wow.
basically asked to come on. He's like literally
I thought Judge asked him to come on.
he is one of like I don't know probably 3 people in the history of the show that says, "Hey, bro, can I come on?" That weren't just like a listener. And
No,
and nothing to our
asked-
deplorable listeners, but
I asked Judge if he could hook me up.
yeah, he asked somebody we knew if they could hook him up to come on here.
Why didn't you
That's
just ask
So
me?
either A, we are as cool as we think we are, or B, he's got something he just wants to tell people so bad and pretend, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry I was drunk when I said it."
Oh yeah, I'm just throwing down csmleaks.docx.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you remember the current CSM, and is that summit over now?
Yes,
Yes.
it's been over for a week and a half.
Okay, just asking, just asking. Now, now obviously, we know we've been doing this long enough. We know NDA. This is why we don't usually interview people because you're not going to tell us what I know. Now, but from your perspective, throughout the conversations, would you say you made at least half of the meetings?
Half
They
of
were
them
all
were-
there.
Well, yeah,
Was
we were
that-
all there.
Oh, you
They
were all there.
all in Iceland.
Yeah.
Every foot. Do you
They
pay
flew
any
every
attention
person-
to the
BC.
CSM?
And all
Well, hold on,
14
wait, hold on, wait.
members were not
Oh,
only
that's-
invited but attended.
Oh, that's right. Hey, you know what? I totally forgot. That's my bad. Damn, woman, hold on. Shut your trap.
What do you
woman.
mean, woman? We're all judging you.
That's okay.
Yeah, really. You've been
Okay, well, let me ask
judged
you this.
and found
What my question
lacking.
is this? What is was there anything that came up that you was just let's how to put this, because again, I know you're NDA, so don't worry about that. But for you, that you were like, oh hell yes, thank you, fucking finally, or about fucking time.
Oh Jesus, where the fuck? Why are my lights not turning on my camera? And yeah, there were tons
Spooky.
of reveals where I was like, yeah.
Well, I mean, you said okay, so, oh man, because this is the problem with Indiana.
He can't if he turns the light on, his mom is gonna wake up and smack him right in the fucking
Can you
head.
say how dirty his bed is? How unkempt his bed is, like fucking Rilo.
Literally 1 second.
You're like rushing him into like some big reveal or something like that, and it's like it's like work him into it. Be like, hey, look, this is your first time at at a summit.
There's no big reveal. I mean,
What
it's
was your
like-
experience getting there, and were you happy?
Well,
and-
because nobody cares about that. I mean, people want to know that stuff.
I do.
People-
I want to
people
know what the
wanna
experience
know,
is.
like,
I'll never
what?
be one of those guys.
Yeah, no, getting to the CSM was kind of not ideal this year. There was a lot of travel issues again. Accommodation was super good though compared to last year. I know last year they literally had to stay in Airbnbs because they couldn't find any hotels or something like that.
I've heard Airbnb is better because then you're all like rooming together and you get like your own like kitchen.
Their shit got
and
No,
booked
no,
like
they
2
were all
weeks
in
before the
different
event last year. It
Airbnbs.
was
Oh.
ridiculous.
So they were just sitting in other people's houses in the middle of Reykjavik. Whereas we had like a pretty high-end hotel and we just rented out a floor basically for the CSM. So like on the
Have you ever
first day
seen
we
a
got there-
Reykjavikian hotel? Or, I'm sorry, house. I mean, these people live in
Reykjavikian.
hovels. I mean,
Yeah.
Sion was like having to live in this like shack. That's not true, but I mean, it sounds good because it's Iceland.
But no, I still remember on the first day when like we weren't quite sure what we were doing, so we just like sat in the breakout room, just outside of the lift, and we just sat and drank amaretto and smoked cigars for like a
Sounds
while.
good.
It was great.
So Jintan, speaking of drinking alcohol, according to Twitter, there are a few really drunk photos of you, especially after you guys all ate whale, and I got some really awkward DMs. Can you explain those?
You guys ate some whale.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I
Say
ordered
whale.
I ordered
So
whale
Judge
steak.
tweeted a
It was
picture.
on point.
Was it good?
Oh yeah.
Whale eggs and home fries.
If anyone wants to come at me for killing the whales, how about you go fuck yourself?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not
You know,
some
we gotta do another
environmentalist here.
shot
I'm
for
just.
that because I'm proud of Jintan for coming on this show and telling people to go fuck
No,
themselves.
yeah. Oh, there was someone. He was actually upset we hadn't told you yet. Urandus was wanting to say something. He was saying, what did he want to say, Dirk? I know the
first
latter
thing was
part.
He tweeted out. He said something about, "I'll burn his Daki in front of him."
Oh no, he wanted to say something like he thinks you look amazing or you look cute or something, and then he also
Yeah,
wanted
he totally
to tell
called you
you.
a bang boy, but you should go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, and then he said, make sure to tell him go fuck himself too. So that's Urandus.
That's your English. Yeah, I know him well from
How
the
what?
anime.
How was Whale? I mean, in all honesty, you're from the UK, right? I'm gonna
Wales,
say I'm gonna
yeah.
say you are from south of the north, south of the wall. So you're not Scottish, you're not Welsh. Okay, you're like legit English.
Yeah, I'm legit like
Right. Okay. And so how was Whale? I mean, be honest.
Basically, to me, you know how like what tuna is to regular fish, where it's like really meaty.
Tuna?
It doesn't quite. Yeah, tuna.
Yeah.
Tuna. Like
Tuna like they serve in a restaurant, or tuna out of the can?
Oh,
tuna steak, like tuna
Yeah,
steak.
a
Like,
Okay,
tuna
like
fillet.
real tuna. Okay.
like human tuna, not tuna that's been made by
Yeah,
a fucking
tuna out of a
robot that
can, like
smashed
tuna in
tuna.
water is disgusting, but I like a fillet of tuna, like at a restaurant.
Yeah, so like how tuna is to regular fish, like a cod. Whale is like the tuna of tuna, basically. It's a
Gotcha.
really meaty fish.
Now, since we're on food and we'll move off of this, did they serve that? Is it pink?
Puffin.
That
Puffin?
pink mush that it's almost like a mousse, but it's like it looks like slop in a freaking pan that they bring out and it's like some sort of Icelandic delicacy.
Oh, you're talking about like the sheep jaw?
No, not the sheep
Oh,
jaw.
that-
This is like no, it's more like a mousse consistency from the way
Dessert?
I've heard it described. No, it's more like
I've had one with the
fish-based
dessert.
mousse.
No, I didn't have that with the whale.
Oh. Usually Hilmar comes out with that or some shit. Maybe it's because he's in London. They're not serving that there anymore. I don't know.
We probably could have found it. I just didn't really. I don't particularly want to have a
I've
fish
heard
mousse.
it's not something you should
Yeah.
seek out, so don't worry about it. It sounds like at least they didn't bring it in and you had to go, "Oh no, thank you."
Did you have Puffin?
No, I have never had. Puffins.
What? Puffin's like so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, but we were only
Like
there
the
for
bird?
like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I was there for like 7 days and we had puffin. Yeah, the
It's-
little penguin
It's
looking
so
bird.
awkward. Like
It
this
is,
country,
but
they
they
like
taste
eat
so
all these
good.
animals that you,
They
are
also-
normally something you see on like the Discovery Channel instead of like, oh yeah, you know,
They're so
we had some
good.
chicken or some turkey. It's like we got some puffin today, and then we went.
They got guinea pig there as well. Guinea pig's actually quite nice.
Did you turn anything down? Were you, like, did anybody like say, "Here, try this," and you said, "No, no, thank you."
No, I will eat literally anything. Like, I actually quite enjoy horse and dog and things like that.
All right.
I'm a carnivore. Fuck it, you know.
I may
Exactly.
have
Once
You know what?
alive,
It's
I'll
all-
probably eat
As
it.
far as I'm concerned, it's all about the marinade.
Yeah, I may have eaten cat before, but I'm not sure. There was a Chinese
Jesus.
there was a Chinese restaurant here in town that I used to eat at all the time, and I loved it. And then they got shut down because they found out that they were to supplement their shortages of meats, they were catching cats in the back alley and cooking them up.
Hey,
Cats-
Danny, are
cats
you
get
saying
outta
that you
hand.
actually are you saying that you enjoyed eating pussy?
Yeah, if I did, I liked it.
God, I fucking love this guy. I love him already.
If I did.
Well, I don't know. Like it's like it's not like their whole smorgasbord was made of cats. It was just like it was
Oh my God,
sporadic
Drake,
here and
Drake,
there.
I need you to roll I need you
Oh.
to roll another
Joint?
ship key thing. I can't even remember what the fucking name of those things are. I've got it written down there. Rookie pirate frigate skins. Oh no,
Oh,
actually, I think
yeah.
it's the ship. I think it's the
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah,
ship
yeah, it's the
itself.
ship.
Yo, those rookie.
Yeah,
pirate
you
ships
even
are
you
really
even get the
fun to watch.
one Trit ship that's underneath it.
While they do that, let me ask you this, CSU guy.
Do we want to
Um,
let people spam up a little bit, or do we just want to roll it?
No, I want you to roll it because you know what? Our viewers are either active talking in chat to themselves or to like, you know, us, or I don't know, or they're just fucking hanging out. This is
Abaddon
this is
21.
not about hey if you're just like passively watching.
Or maybe it's a bad.
Okay.
I always say Abaddon because I.
We don't have some fucking like free giveaway thing where you earn open comms.
Points.
Quasi
and you're gonna
iron or
spend
whatever.
the points like garbage shit.
So real quick to the CSU guy. One of the things we've talked about on the show before is that joining the CSM has a bunch of stuff that goes on with it. But one of the things it does is it drastically reduces the amount of time you have to play the game. I mean, have you had that problem? How much would you say play the game before, and has you seen it drop significantly since you've taken up the CSM mantle?
Well, I'm a block level FC, and I run pretty much most of Providence's military. So I was already spending like 40 to 50 hours a week playing this game.
That's what I'm
Adding 10 to 15 more hours to do CSM work isn't that big of a deal.
But I'm saying
The only time it ever got significantly bad was during the run up to the summit, where I was spending like straight up like 30, 40 hours a week trying to work on getting all my notes and stuff.
So okay,
prepped
wait, hold
for
on.
that
So what
shit.
you're saying is this. Hold on. So I think you misunderstood me. I was asking if it's taken away from your playtime. What you're saying is you've just added more time in front of the computer to make up for it.
Yeah, I fuck having a social life and fuck having family commitments, basically.
Okay.
This is why like half the people on the CSM are like young people, because it's really easy to convince them to waste their lives doing the CSM. I'm kidding though, it's actually really rewarding. It's way more rewarding than my actual job.
That's terrible. Do you ever go home thinking, oh man, this fucking video game pretend goddamn council I'm on is more rewarding than my day-to-day life? Like, and then do you broadcast for reps?
No, because I actually don't really care. I've never enjoyed working at the end of the day. Well, I work to live, I don't live to work. I'm not American.
Nice. Drayden, did you?
Yeah,
did you
I
do
got
one?
him the code. Go ahead and black out the next top one.
I will black it out, which I shouldn't. I should just wait it out. I mean, it's like, why is there this fucking?
Doesn't matter what color it is.
Well,
But yeah, do you guys have any
Does, I
other
mean-
questions about the summit though? Like,
I do.
Yes,
but hold
yes,
on.
yes.
No,
Who's
no,
your least favorite member?
Oh my God. No.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Oh man,
Oh.
just getting the
Time
Okay,
to get the drama.
nitty-gritty.
well, hold on. No. If he's gonna fucking answer it, then answer. Go.
Do you want me to ask
I'm not answering that. I'm not even answering who my favorite one is, dude.
Oh,
I'm a
that was what I
politician.
was
I'm a
gonna
state
actually ask you.
politician.
So I know a lot of people
It was
have
the
said.
judge, wasn't it?
A lot of people have said. I know we talked a little bit last time about Zenaria. has like Zenuria lived up to all the bullshit people thought he would cause, or do you think Zenuria is actually a prominent member of the team?
Like real talk, once you meet Zenuria in real life, you realize that like some amount of what he gets up to online is just him trying to bait reactions for other people because he enjoys watching people react to awkward social situations.
Yeah,
He
because
is like, he's definitely not a neurotypical person, to put it bluntly, but he is not as bad as people think he is.
well, yeah, because
basically.
last year
We'll go ahead.
I was just say like last year in Vegas when like Dirk and I met him, and I didn't know who I was talking to, and then eventually someone said that's Zenuria. I was like, oh, I've heard because I've never really like
the guy who's like an inch taller than you are.
Yeah, he's actually a little bit taller than I am, but it's like I'd heard so much bad shit about the guy, and I was like, he seems fine to me. He's a little flamboyant and like super excited, like he kind of bounces around when he talks, and he's really excited all the time, but he doesn't seem like he's not an asshole, definitely.
You and I met him the morning that we were checking in, so that means it was Friday morning. And that was the first time I'd ever met him as well. Okay, and you know what? I came out of there and I responded pretty soon after that, probably on this show, you know, later that week, saying, hey, you know what? Not the guy you think. But what I will say is this, okay? At some point along the line, Zenuria may have been, because the aura of Zenuria, the story of Zenuria, okay, goes back so long now that he may have been kind of whatever people thought he was back in the time. But there is definitely nowadays, okay, and I mean before he actually got on the CSM, going back maybe a year or more ago, okay, where he began to convert, you know what, this is what people think. I can use that to kind of troll people, but at the same time, I can be something different. But what I have heard from a number of different things, and we talked about it last week, is that, you know what, he has been straight up on the thing. It's not to say that he, you know, might not come through with something crazy, because there are those people out there, they can talk totally sensibly for an hour or whatever the hell it is, and then like all of a sudden, like once they've exhausted the normalcy, go on into like crazy shit or whatever. I think that he plays a certain role knowing that he has like worked himself into that, but also is more than capable of handling a standard Eve conversation that is sensible, and that is what he does with the people where he's been elected to do that with.
At the end of the day, he's been a master of creating this kind of insane cognitive dissonance in the Eve community by the fact that he was able to present himself as both wouldn't it be funny if we elected Zenuria to the CSM. He would really mess about with those CCP folks that we don't like, and also actually this guy might be able to reform the CSM to make it a more effective institution.
I'm going to be honest, as having been in the Imperium at the time that, well, actually, semi in the Imperium at the time that went, you know, that his election went down. I don't honestly believe, all right, that the goons or whoever, well, it was the goons, it was Mittani and whatnot, that was behind putting him on the ballot and backing him for the ballot, thought that he was going to be like that. I don't think that they were doing it like that, because I know for a fact that they had met him in real life and had actually had real conversations with him. Therefore, if they had, they knew he wasn't just the crackpot that people thought that this character was out on the forums.
No, this was something we actually had some conversations with him in Iceland about, and he was very proud of the fact that Mittens and Sion genuinely did believe in his ability to do what he wants to do in a relatively sane manner, which is lovely.
All right, so here we go. So that's something. Thinking back over this past couple the week, whatever your summer was. Again, I just think NDA, but I believe you can honestly say, what was the most aggressive, or like maybe time consuming, or which section of the meeting would you say was the most in depth or time aggressive, where y'all spent a lot of time hashing stuff out? You know, no sec, you know, you don't have to tell us what. You don't have to tell us what it was. Say, but as far as you're concerned, what y'all predominantly spent a chunk of your time on?
Oh man, that's actually a really hard one. There are a lot of ones where we got really into it. If you're going for like the one where we actually sat and like discussed things both internally, like there was a lot of really long discussion. Okay. I would definitely say, weirdly enough, it was with the art panel. about the state of skins because there's like a huge like that. I know that sounds really dumb, but like we had a fucking 20-minute argument about pink skins. Like,
Did
straight
you
up.
please tell me you convinced them? I don't care how many NDAs you break. Tell me there's going to be pink skins. Like, that's all I want to know. That's all me and all the other people who love pink want to know.
I also would like a pink skin, but we did not make very much progress on convincing them. I'm sorry.
Damn it! I heard it was something with the code. Was that a lie? Did they finally admit that?
With the code? No.
Yeah, they said something about the code. I think that's like
There's
Logi Bro trolling me.
There's
Yeah,
no
they
way the
actually-
code would
they
prevent
actually
pink from
just
being on there. Pink is it's just a colored overlay that you put on it.
Yeah, they actually just hard disallowed pink in the when they were creating the game. They were like, if anything is pink, just kill the game client.
Yeah. Now I know the Hello Kitty
Just
thing that
kidding.
everyone wants will never come about because of copyright stuff, but pink
Well,
skins.
okay, so
we can have a different looking cat though.
Like, I don't even want like bright, vibrant pink. I just want like a nice either purple or like magenta color. Like, that's all I want. in
What
the
if-
game.
Would
Yeah,
it be
of,
a
tired
of
of
an
memes.
avatar.
would it be
like
a copyright
fleshlight
infringement
avatar.
if instead of the cat facing it called Hello Kitty, what if it was a flip and it was the back side of the cat and it was called Goodbye Kitty? Would that be copyright infringement?
Oh,
Pretty
goodbye,
Like the North
catty.
Face.
Goodbye Catty.
let me ask you this.
Well, I mean, if Crossing Zebras got away with having Zikora as their logo, I'm pretty sure CCP can get away with something
You
like
know
that.
the pony name.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Crossing
so
Zebras
okay,
toxic,
here
we
we
know
go. Here
this.
we go. So let me ask you this. So throughout the any time of this summit, I believe you get this. Did the discussion of the new Alpha and Omega clones come up?
No, that was like the reason they flew all 14 of us out there.
Exactly. That is good.
God,
Damn
like,
it! Thank
how
you,
could you not
BC, for
expect them
asking
to
that
talk
in a
about
really
that?
like
Hold on.
deficient way.
Hold on.
You just call me
Okay.
mentally deficient? Jesus, man. Take care.
Hold on. Derek, I'm trying to. Okay.
Go.
So,
Just drill down to where you want to go.
was there? Oh, okay. I want to ask this. I think this.
Ashtarothi just gave a he just had an interview with CCP Seagull.
I didn't get
okay?
a chance to listen to it.
Okay. He just had an interview with CCP Seagull, and while they generally talked about alpha clones in that, okay, when he asked like certain specifics about how they were going to relate to, say, CSM elections or things like that, she wants to wait until the minutes come out. And here's what I want to ask Jin Tan regarding the entire conversation related to the whole alpha clone thing. I don't want to know details because I know that you are kind of locked down and you can't give them right now. If you would like to give them and pretend that you are drunk and like claim that as being the reason why you fucking breached, all right, that's cool. We will deal with that. And I tell you right now, we will all band like, behind you to save you. But
Okay.
did you feel as though the conversation was fruitful?
Yeah,
Productive.
we had a review session with CCP at the end of the summit because we'd spent about 4 to 5 hours effectively just going over various aspects of the alpha clone state. And we basically had a 1-hour review right near the end with Team Size Matters where we went over all the changes that we'd discuss. And a lot has changed as a result of CSM and general community feedback in the past, like 2 to 3 weeks. Also, on me being drunk, I can't do that because I have work in literally 3 hours.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
you
drinking.
can
man.
say whatever you want to, and people have to go by what you say. One of the things that Seagull said in that interview was that a lot of these things, whether it be related to the CSM, okay, so what that ultimately came down to is can they run and can they vote, and then can they use the forums? What she said was that these things are still under discussion, but the whole point of alpha clones is that these are let's see here. Alpha to be holy shit, I can't read my possible to play forever.
Would you
that-
like me to explain the kind of philosophy?
Go,
there?
yeah, please.
They
yes.
don't see alpha clones as free to play in the traditional sense of free to play, where it's
You're
like
pulling
a,
me into a different conversation, but yes, go.
Yeah. They don't see it as we use alpha clones to bait people into being omegas. They want alpha clones to be a state where people can just experience the game because they feel in the same way that adding more disabled accessibility and things like that to the game increases the social worth and social environment of the game. They feel that having as many alphas as humanly possible would greatly enhance the social dynamic of the game, which then makes the Omega's playstyle more
See,
enjoyable.
you've been out of the country for. You've been doing the thing. I mean, look, when this first came out, there's a lot of people who wanted you to throw around the free to play. When we actually sat down and looked at it, all this is taking a time trial and removing the time restrictions and giving
that's
you.
That's literally what I said during the meeting with
exactly
when she pitched it to us.
And so what? So I mean, and so that's fine. My question is this, okay? This is my stance, and people have been giving me so much shit about it. Now, if at all possible, could you say if it's brought up along the same lines? I think that people that have been longtime customers that do have Omega clones shouldn't be reduced all the way down to an alpha clone when they say don't subscribe. Maybe create a beta clone that has restrictions, but just not to the extent that alphas do. Was there any conversation at all or anything similar to that? To not necessarily restricting Omegas as far as alphas?
We did talk about the potential for other clone states, but nothing was seriously discussed at that time.
Okay, that's
not
fine.
Really willing to.
No, that's fine. That lets me know that, hey, at least there's other people that believe like me that go, look, alpha clones are going to let people come in and try the game and not have to worry about a time scale. And, you create something a little bit less restrictive for those that have, say, been playing the game and want to take a month or two off from playing it or not paying for it and don't want to just be totally just stripped. Okay, my other question is,
don't read the whole thing if that's what you're reading.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, no, sorry. Jeff Rader.
Oh.
Where's Jeff?
Is Jeff Rader here?
No, I'm joking. I just typed something in there, but the way you hesitated, I thought you were reading my entire paragraph.
No, I'm not. I don't even know what you're talking about. Now I want to talk.
Okay, so this is what I said. I may not get a chance to say it, but if you want to hear Seagull's position in a non-CSM pre-minutes release interview, you should listen to Ashtarothi's
thing on
that, because it is useful, but okay, there were definitely hedged things in that because they were holding on to there's stuff that's going to come out in the minutes that will clarify this, and I think that they want to allow some of that to be released via the minutes. Otherwise, it's not.
My stuff, I'm trying to actually get a little bit beyond that. I've said for the longest. I mean, to me, we this show, everybody I know we talk to. Again, as far as nullsects go, we've still have not yet seen the carrot. At all, would you say was there any discussing the carrot of nullsec in any of these meetings?
Well, there was a 2-hour nullsec session. I think the actual schedule of the summit is well known. I don't want to talk about literally anything that we discussed in the nullsec session because I'm not sure what we are and are not allowed to talk about there.
Well,
I will note that was something that I led. I went out of my way and
let me rephrase. Let me see if I can rephrase. Let me just so maybe something you can maybe feel comfortable answering. Okay, we all know that the basis of this is conflict drivers, and technically, putting out new shiny stations is not really doing it. Going and changing up the sovereignty mechanics did not quite necessarily do it. Is CCP aware that they actually need to still do a little bit more and add something to this game that actually wants us to go out and blow shit up? I mean,
they're aware of that because that's basically what we sat there and told them for 2 fucking hours.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. That's kind of what I was getting at
At the end of the day, though, like, the biggest conflict driver in this game has, and always will be hate. You don't kill people because you want their shit. You kill people because you want their shit, and you don't like them.
Well, I can say I agree with that some, but I think you can make a mechanic. Again, I've said this before, based off of real world type things where depletable resources and lack of resources, you might actually have to go kill somebody, not because you hate them, but because you need the shit they have.
Yeah,
you may not hate them.
That like depleting resources and things like that really, really negatively affect leadership, and that's also something I sat and talked to Rise in a pub about. That's something I'm actually trying to work on. I'm trying to make an article about how fucking hard it is to find FC's New Alliance.
Well, let me ask you this: are they still trying to? And then maybe you might not be able to answer this, but let me rephrase this. Do you think, as a player, CSM, and also somebody who's listened to some meetings, that there is still a general idea that we need to change it from a top down to a bottom up type style.
Um,
More.
I actually wrote an entire article. When I started writing for EVE Online, I wrote an article. My first article that I published, my second article that I ever published was on EVE Guardian, and it is an article called "In Defense of Top Down." I think that should probably explain my perspective on it somewhat. I'm of the opinion that top-down objectives are vastly superior to the game than bottom-up, because it's very, very difficult to convince small groups of people to fight over things that affect their day-to-day life, when the best solution to that is normally to just ignore the people who are attacking you. Whereas top-down things, you're effectively just trying to convince two people, two FCs, to fight each other, which is a hell of a lot easier than it is to convince groups of people to coalesce into a defense force and fight against a more prepared attacker.
So
But that's me. I definitely am not the majority on the CSM there.
Hey Dirk, black out that next code.
So
Okay.
Jintan, I think you had DM'd me talking about streaming in EVE. Did you guys talk about that at all, or was that kind of sidelined?
Unfortunately, like a lot of topics, that was sidelined. There was, the weird thing about the summit is that you go there and you think, oh yeah, 4 days, we're doing 8 hours of meetings a day. Yeah, I'm sure we can get through everything. There is not enough time at all. 1 hour goes so quickly. when
That's
you're talking to people.
That's meetings in real life too. If
Yeah.
that makes you feel
It
better.
is.
Well,
I was
no,
just
I
curious.
know.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. This is something, and I think you can answer this just if you're willing to say it's going to be a little personal. One of these, okay, off of kind of just game stuff, more like just CSM stuff. One of the things in the past we've talked about is, as people, as we cover, we don't. Okay, no, this show has never done a massive in-depth coverage. We're not like Crossing Zebras and Diary of a Capsuleer, whatever the fuck it was called. They went out and they interviewed everybody when they were ready. But I mean, we talk about candidates and stuff. But one of the things we mentioned, we've talked about in the past is, as a candidate, should you say, hey, I'm such and such, I'm going to be elected. I'm running on a platform of, I really don't know this about NullSec. I know I want to change the way that new player experience is, and maybe the high sec PvP stuff is, or PvE stuff is. And then you have something that say, oh, I'm all about NullSec. As a member of the CSM now, you've been in the meetings now. Would you say, do people, when they're in these meetings and topics come up, are there those that say, I don't know 0-0 stuff, so really I'm just going to kind of sit back and eat my whale chips and drink my fish, ale, versus say everybody just chimes in, and there's bound to be some people that don't have no real experience in 0-0. Do you catch them trying to like weigh in on 0-0 stuff, or is it just a free for all? Everybody just starts jabbering.
Well, first of all, there's a level of self-moderation there. Like the CSM will normally actually just talk and be like, okay, this session's coming up. Who's going to talk in it? What are we going to do? Like, are there any major topics we want to cover? Things like that, just like beforehand, to get everyone on relatively the same page. Obviously, we all disagree on stuff, but we can always agree the points of discussion, which is very nice. I think that's something that previous CSMs have never really had. But on the whole, do people's opinions and stuff get taken seriously no matter their perspective? Yeah, but EVE is so hilariously interconnected that Steve, who, bless his heart, is not particularly knowledgeable about, say, sovereignty mechanics, knows a lot about mining. He knows a lot about industry, and that's very applicable to NullSec. And that was something he actually talked to, and that's why he got 10 minutes to talk about industry and NullSec. And we discussed a lot of not just issues there, but how he pitched in with some ideas on how we can make industry in NullSec different and things like that might be of benefit. Things like that.
What I was going to get at is, like, one of the things I've said in the past is I would like people to know, I'm not going to say know their role, but, kind of know their place in the things and say, look, if you're somebody who predominantly is knowledgeable in industry, or let's just say you spend most of your time in high sec doing missions, and you're on the CSM, to say, look, no need for me to really keep butting in here when they're talking about NullSec, unless, you can see a clear connection to what they are talking about affecting something that you actually do knowledge of. Like you said,
Well,
you talk
more
about
to the
Steve,
point,
right, about
I'm gonna take your example and I'm gonna spin it on its head. So if you only live in high sec, you only PvE, that's your thing. You PvE in high sec, you're the PvE in high sec candidate, and it comes to the topic of nullsec, and they're talking about havens and sanctums and things like that. Do you not think that as someone who knows a lot about PvE, that your input would be valuable if the topic turns to PvE systems?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm saying is that you being a predominantly PvEer in Empire probably doesn't have much to do with nullsec. But when they start talking about stuff that does, do you see that people are able to jump in and say, look, this could potentially affect, like you said, Steve. I'm assuming you're talking about Steve Renokin, right?
Yeah, Steve.
Go and say, look, I don't know much about 0-0, but
Steve is too old for the CSM, is he not?
But hold on. But I can see
He's
you
like
saying,
Is there an age limit?
but I can see you saying, look, I can see him saying, this comes getting as, I can see Steve saying, look, I may not know much about 0-0, but the changes you're talking about sound like they could have a serious impact on just basic industrial changes that we might have to have.
You have to realize too that CSM isn't only the experts in their field, but they're also, like 4 dudes, or not 4, like 14 dudes aren't going to be able, by no means, know everything about the game. So they have to be able to have resources within the game that they do talk about. So yeah, you might be super smart in nullsec, but that doesn't mean you know everything in nullsec. So you might have to pull together resources from other nullsec entities to talk about it, or say highsec entities. Because yeah, you might do industry, but maybe you only do one part of industry, or you don't do everything.
Yeah, the CSM is a mix of subject matter experts and expert communicators.
Actually, they're not. They're literally not a mix of subject matter experts, okay? Because what we have found out there, I'm going to tell you right now, through fucking years of doing this, okay, they are not subject matter experts. They are the people with a lot of subject matter experience that also have a lot of social experience.
Yes.
Which means that they are not subject matter experts. What they are really is social matter fucking experts, or at least better than the rest, so to speak.
So what you're saying is that the CCP selection process for the CSM chooses people who both know about things and people who can actually talk about them in a meaningful and positive way.
The only thing that is given the CCP selection process.
Wow, this doesn't sound like something that CCP would want to share a room with at all. I don't know why they would use that method and not just pick people who'd score highest on the test.
Well, hold on. The only thing that gives the CCP process merit is the fact that, look, this is who the people have selected. All right, the people who vote, it is who they have selected, and luckily for them, some of the organizations that are out there have gotten behind people that they feel are reasonable contributors to the process, as opposed to just kind of a raw thing of, hey, look, whoever you think is cool but is probably not the most informed, that is where the fucking most votes would go. If, outside of the fact that, say the Imperium said, look, this is our voting slate, or I really like this guy because he's my alliance, or whatever.
So in response to that, I'm going to throw out a couple of names of people who completely do not fit your perception of the CSM.
Yep.
Mike Azariah was not a block vote, and he was an incredibly effective person.
Because Mike Azariah literally worked his ass off for multiple seasons of getting downvoted before finally people caught on to the fact that this is a guy who has gotten his name out there, so he's gotten the social aspect of things, and enough people have bought into the fact that maybe he does know a little something about where it is he comes from.
Okay, and Sugar Kyle might not be the greatest.
Sugar Kyle actually, in the first year that she was elected, had broad support from the area that she came from. And once again, we get back into kind of a regular election kind of process thing here, where the people who are involved with creating coalitions of voters, okay, or whatever you want to call it nowadays.
So what you're saying is that there are coalitions of voters who vote because they want to see their area of space better represented? Does that surprise you in any way? That people are regional and factionalized?
No, not at all. But what I'm
Do you think
saying
that,
is
what's the
that
point? Do you think that's a bad
if you
system?
if
Do you think
well,
that
hold
that's
on.
something that people should not do?
It all depends on what you really want to get out of it in the end. Do you really want to get the best thing out of it? Which comes down to the whole idea of, do people vote for the most qualified candidate, or do they vote for the most qualified candidate that they also like?
To that point, is it worth
Or no.
having someone on the CSM that you dislike? Because if you dislike them, do you not feel that there's a greater chance that they might be socially inept and therefore incapable of communicating effectively with CCP?
Now, you don't have to dislike someone because they're socially inept, but you do want someone who's actually able to communicate.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
let me put it
yes,
this way,
you do,
like,
but not just communicate with you, right? I mean, the whole idea, but the whole difference between likability and people who are actually, all I was debating here was the question of whether or not they are subject matter experts. And what most of them will tell you is that in their field, in what it is, whatever it is they think they know, they will tell you they are not the subject matter experts of their field.
That's because Eve is such a complex game. It's almost, I don't want to say impossible. It's very difficult to be a subject matter expert. It's very hard to be someone who can independently think, hey, this change in nullsec will affect XYZ, everything both positively and negatively for both me in nullsec and then everyone else in nullsec. Therefore, I'm the subject matter expert of nullsec. Like, if you look at people like someone who's like super smart at the game, like whether it's like Alliance tournament flying or like flying certain ships or even like ship fitting, it's so complex that you almost can't have subject matter experts. Like, a lot of people are arguing even the devs don't know.
And that's why, and that's why the entire discussion here, as far as I was concerned, was focused on the idea that these people are subject matter experts.
They're
not.
Some of them are closer than you could get
Thanks
to
for
say like
following
an
us,
average
Little
person.
Monkey.
Yep.
Some of them are closer. I don't disagree with that. I think that there are some there who people would consider. But now, whether or not they are, here's what I'll say is this, okay? There are some people out there, okay, who some people might think are PvP subject matter experts, small games subject matter experts, okay? But they are because they've generated a following that is not necessarily about the quality of their output, because you know what, their personality has has exacerbated it, all of these things, right? But they sound good enough from a subject matter standpoint, coupled with their personality and ability to play to the audience, that people like them as well as they're smart. But there are other people out there that are legitimately smarter and know more.
Well, the real question comes up to Jin Tam. What is your favorite TV show right now?
Mr. Robot.
Oh my God, that's great, because that is a show that literally fucks your mind every episode.
Yeah, it's great. It's 10 out of 10.
But did you feel as though your time in Iceland was productive?
Yes, without a doubt.
There you go.
That's
Is there
important.
anything you regret not talking about from a non-NDA perspective?
There's a shitload of things that I wish that we could have spent more time on.
Damn.
We have time. We have a sensible show tonight. We have time.
No,
Okay.
no,
We
he
have-
said he can't because. Of
Oh,
the
oh,
NBA.
that-
Oh no, we mean for us. We mean for us.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'll be right back. When I come back, I've got like a special thing. But so like keep
Oh,
talking.
right.
I was just gonna ask Dirk if he could point to anyone on the CSM who he thinks is not a subject matter expert, effectively. Someone who doesn't know a lot about a certain area.
There's this guy. He flies with Pravi. His name is Jintan. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you shit.
Hey, I'm amazing at doing town halls.
Well, the thing with the CSM, it's like people say it's a popularity contest. In an aspect, there has an aspect to that, but it's like I don't think anyone that goes for the CSM is a clueless idiot. Like, I mean, pretty much the people that are trying to run for that stuff, they may not know. I mean, it's pretty impossible for like one person to know everything about every aspect of the game, but the area you're running for to try and represent, you probably know a good enough amount about it that you're not gonna just be sitting there, not knowing anything about it.
There are a
Run
couple of people in the
Prove you
past
wrong.
that people have pointed to as examples of like the CSM being a popularity contest. I think Wingspan TT was one of the primary ones from the past because people felt that his knowledge of wormhole mechanics wasn't up to par with
you
what they'd
mocking
expect from a CSM
Poor
member.
Chance.
but he was an excellent communicator, and he could find out the answers to any questions very, very easily, and that's what he brought to the CSM.
Well, I mean, there's actually
Was Chance
that's
ever
a
elected
really
as a
good
wormhole?
example.
Like, kind of like people thought he knew his shit about wormholes. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, just going back to that election, that wasn't really what he was elected upon. But I do want to throw this out there only because I don't know. We've got Drayden. Are you up next?
No one's up next, but I was gonna take a slot, but I mean, like, I don't.
Whatever.
We can go
I
a little
actually
over.
don't
I'm not
think
worried
that,
about
yeah,
being on
you know
time.
that anybody is, so I'm not worried about just a few minutes. I don't want to take this off into fucking dark after dark or anything like that.
No, but I mean, if we go a few minutes over, it's fine.
But
It's pretty obvious that you've got like a ruck full of issues that you want to throw, so I'm pretty happy. I'm looking forward to this. Come at me, bro.
No.
Get it?
Actually, this is not an issue for you, but I do want to throw it out there earlier. Here's the thing. Last week we were talking about. I was talking about how I was really happy about the way that the Eve Vegas Open Com Show T-shirt, was coming out. I actually tweeted out an early stage image of it earlier this week, but we are going to unveil here tonight what the actual back of the shirt. The front of the shirt will be the Open Comms logo, not like this. This is last year's Open Comms shirt, which is the Open Comms logo plus the skull down below. But the real logo is the skull in the middle. That will be the front of this year's shirt. But the back of it, and Drayden, if you can throw it up on the screen.
Yep. Let me just find the picture. I do have it set up.
I'm also linking it in the channel as we speak right now. This is the back of it. It is the Eve Vegas 2016 Make Eve Great Again Omegathron t-shirt. Oddly, there have been a number of things that have come together this year that says there needs to be something that says Make Eve Great Again. One of them is just, well, as we all know, fucking, Trump 2016 make something or other fucking great again meme. All right. But the whole Omega thing, MEGA, is built into that. Make Eve Great Again as part of the Omega kind of thing, which we all know that mega means Megathron. So we have got the red, white, and blue fucking Megathron this year on the back of the Eve Vegas 2016 t-shirt.
Are you gonna
for
make
Open
3D
Comms.
space?
Now this
I hope people just walk around with that.
Oh, we will.
Because no one
as we
is
said
ignoring
last week, this works for not only America, right? This is not Make America Great Again. This is Make Eve Great Again. So that means it works for America. It works for Great Britain. It works for it works for Russia, for God's sakes. And this is
Yeah, I
where
was
the
gonna say,
whole
it's like
Putin
all
thing comes
like
into
those
it
are the
as
same
well.
colors on the British flag, the same colors on the Russian flag, same colors on.
They're
It works for
Patriot colours.
France. It works for Belgium.
The Netherlands.
But the
the Netherlands.
I mean, yeah, it's red, white, and blue is generally thought as America, but the Union Jack's made up of red, white, and blue.
This right
Yeah,
here
you guys
is
don't need to be
a
original enough to steal your own colors. God damn it, guys.
Rick Javix
No, we
helped
just
me
took your
out.
colors
He
and
helped
changed them
me-
around.
He helped me envision the Megathron for this. He originally put it out as kind of a joke, as kind of the Trump thing. This is not the Trump-a-thon version that he had put out. This is a different one, and I am damn happy
France
with this.
works
I gotta
in France
be
too.
honest.
What's we drink?
This is something that you will be able to get only if you come to Eve Vegas. Okay, I have got a request. Well, hold on. Only if you come to Eve Vegas and find me while I still have some. I am very happy about this because I really think that you never see original artwork on shirts that are out there or on things like that. It's all a bunch of text. It's all a bunch of whatever. This is something that I think really bites in. I am trying to get CCP to let me sell these at cost through the manufacturer for anybody else who wants them.
Who did the design for this? Like the art design? Rick Javix?
For the ship itself?
Yeah.
Rick Javix.
Wow, that's pretty good.
He did an excellent job. The original one had the ship a little more sideways. I changed the rotation of it. I wanted to make it look more like the Megathron was flying out of the T-shirt than flying sideways. So I put it in there. But again, I'm damn happy with this. It's got the Make Eve Great Again thing on there. It's got the Omegathron name on there, and it's got the Rick Javix's actual real world signature down at the bottom because I wanted to give props to the fact that that he created this.
If they made that skin in game, I would buy it.
I have said that. This would absolutely be a fucking monetizing agent for them. I think that in some ways, Rick should create a poster along the lines of the artwork that he does and create a Make Eve Great Again Omegathron poster kind of thing and sell that shit. I think that in the time we're in right now, for like the next little while, it has got meme purchase shit along with it. Blast him to
He's
hell.
asking if your
Dirk
wife will
McGurk.
be there.
Well,
Yeah,
Mrs.
yeah, she'll be there.
Yo, of course she will. Yes, I don't go anywhere without my wife, bro. My wife is the one that humanizes me most of the time.
Outside of that, you're just a living meme.
Yeah, you can find them
Yeah,
because
other
like
than that, I'm
she'll
just this
have
fucking,
Dirk on a
like, joke
leash
of a human
pretty
being
much
on
all
a
the time.
fucking stream.
Can I just say that you guys have been knocking back those shots to the point where I'd probably be unconscious right now if I was.
So,
talking
Jin,
normally.
that's what happened
you
at
say
CSM
shots?
as far as I
Shots?
could tell.
Shots,
I got a
shots is
tweet
Jin Tan for
from
even
the
talking about
judge
stuff.
showing you passed out.
Oh yeah, I do not handle alcohol very well at all.
And then,
Oh,
like,
I have.
we're
no
professionals.
that's when I asked about the whale, and like somehow it got really awkward. But yeah, I thought you guys looked like you had.
Did you guys
tons
talk
of
about
bonding
E-Vegas at all while you were up there for the CSM? Because I can't imagine that any of that would have been. And look, we're not talking about like who's going to talk about what,
Yeah,
or what
Avalon to
secrets are going
Vegas.
to, or
Yeah,
what
no,
secrets are going to be
Arif-
revealed, but like,
Hmm.
because I'm going to
Yeah.
throw this out there right now.
Arif and Nominate talked about the actual like timing for AE Vegas, and we're like, yo, could you like never fucking book something on Halloween again? Because some of us have kids, and therefore we can't go.
Let's
Actually-
bring your
a-
kids.
actually,
Like,
last
yeah,
year-
Halloween. Halloween's so
That'd go well.
exciting.
Actually, last
Halloween's
year,
so exciting.
following, it was not too far following E-Vegas last year. They put out a survey to people who had gone to E-Vegas last year and said, we have the opportunity next year to book this event around the time of Halloween. Would this be good or bad? Do you think they should? Do you think they should not? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be honest. I did not think that they should, because I thought that it limited the people who have families and are committed to taking their kids out trick-or-treating and things like that. But I will bet you that that survey came into play when they decided whether or not to book it over the weekend they did, as opposed to the preceding weekend. I can't say that they did not ask before they did. Now, what decision they made in regard to that, what the data said from the survey that they brought in, but they did ask. So there is that. I don't think that they made this arbitrarily. Maybe they did. Who knows?
So I definitely voted saying Halloween because I really like Halloween and I'm a cosplayer. So yeah, I already showed you guys my costume too.
One of the
You
things.
told us about it. You didn't show
What?
us.
It's a fucking
I showed you
squirrel.
my
If you're gonna
helmet.
cosplay a
It's
squirrel,
not a
whatever.
squirrel, it's a bee. I'm dressing up as the goon bee. Oh my god, you guys are the worst at this.
No,
It's
no.
called the fat
I
bee,
know
not
you were
fat
dressing
bee.
up as you told us, but you're like, oh, I showed you guys. Like, you didn't show us.
I'm not
Yeah,
putting.
you didn't
Okay, it's
show
really
us.
inappropriate looking for the non-Vegas scene, so I'm not gonna wear it
Oh.
yet.
Now, one of the other pieces of news related to E-Vegas that came out this week. This is something that I personally have been connected to since the middle of summer, at least, and kind of requesting. About a week and a half ago, I sent a DM out to Guard, and I said, "Bro, somebody needs to mention something about the pub crawl, because there used to be this thing we knew as Group 10 that mattered."
Yeah, Group 10.
They came out
Group
this
9.
week. They came out this week and they announced what the pub crawl was going to be for this year, and there's a whole lot less crawl. There's a whole lot less pub.
It is all at one spot. The first time that they've ever done. Now, last year they were intending us to be at one spot.
They
At this
were.
old
They were.
arcade.
I'm
It was
wondering if this
basically
year built off of
it
last
was a
year, but-
bar / arcade, and we were going to be stuck there the whole time. But then that place went out of business, so then they switched it to this whole new hopping thing. So it actually was a pub crawl. This year, it is going to be 100% at the Pinball Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame, but like Pinball.
Yep, Hall of Fame.
Oh, it is a Hall of Fame. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
think it is, yeah.
the largest collection of pinball machines in Vegas in one place. Dirk, you're making it sound like I said that wrong.
Real talk though.
No, I'm not making it sound like you said that wrong, man. It's like
pinball.
sometimes when I see Gamo playing and I see him doing things that I couldn't do as an able gamer, and like it brings tears to my eyes. Like it brought tears to my eyes when I saw that announcement. I gotta be fucking honest. All right? It's like, look, last year, when they came out with the idea that we were going to have the, what we knew to be the pub crawl at a video game, like a giant 80s video game stand-up, arcade, I'm like, okay, fine, because I looked up the place on the internet. It had a bar there. It was set up to be kind of like a destination place, but with a backdrop of these 80s video games.
Plus, Dirk was gonna be able to live his heydays playing.
Yeah, whatever. I could throw
Street
some
Fighter.
Robotron or like Pac-Man out there.
Oh, I would have found
that's fine.
the.
I really didn't care about
Gauntlet
any
game.
of that. You know what I cared about? The only thing I care about in anything related to eVegas is socialization. Is the fact that this is a place that is conducive to people who are hanging out and conversing with one another and socializing and things like that. Everything else is a fucking backdrop.
Yeah.
I did at first last year, okay? Because I bought my tickets on the first day that they put this shit out, okay? I didn't quite like the place, but I liked the idea of it being all in one place, because what that allowed was, instead of multiple teams who are rolling through places individually and only touching with one another kind of in an overlap fashion, that it would allow people to all be in one place, because I think that is even better. But I was a little worried that they were concerned. I was a little worried that they were going with this whole kind of throwback fucking video game thing or whatever. But whatever. This place had a bar that was built into it that had a whole social area that if you didn't want to go over there and play fucking Asteroids or Pac-Man or whatever, you didn't have to. You could hang out by the bar, chill with bros, talk and have a fucking discussion, whatever. Not about Eve, not about video games, just talk. All right, just socialize. The next day, however, literally that place closed down and they couldn't do that. So then we went and did a pub crawl last year, which was fun. It was an enjoyable, because you know what? It was
actually amazing. It was a really fucking good pub crawl.
Got the party bus.
It was called the pub crawl, and it was a pub crawl. All right. This year, they flame it back to a place that is filled with pinball machines. So now we've gone past 80s video games. We've gone to pinball machines.
Free electronics.
And I went out and I searched and I fucking Googled and I did everything you fucking could to find out about this place, to find out what's there, right? Because I want to see, is this place set up to be conducive to people who just want to be fucking nerds that play pinball machines, or or those who want to socialize in kind of a Vegas setting, because this is eVegas. This is not some other bullshit part of the goddamn world. This is eVegas.
Do you know what I'm really disappointed CCP hasn't done?
And it doesn't.
Vegas
It doesn't
yet?
have that. They don't have it. I talked to somebody who was there last year who actually went on their own accord, okay, because they enjoyed pinball machines, and it doesn't have those things. So either they're bringing it in from fucking catering, or they're going to have a cooler full of beer or whatever the hell they're going to have. And I'm a little worried about that.
Blast him to hell. Hold up, Blast him to hell in chat is saying he lives in Vegas and he says the place doesn't have a bar, so he's saying it's probably going to be brought in.
So this is the
real
disappointing
talk, though, I
thing
wish
for
that
me is
CCP
Dirk fucking
I hadn't
McGurk
thought
this
about
year
this
is that I'm not going to be part of the social group that goes out during the fucking pub crawl, because I feel as though they picked a joint that is way beneath Eve Vegas.
There is going to be a pub crawl though to some degree, isn't there? I don't know though. I'm not American and I can't make it because I'll be at a wedding in America.
The pub crawl they have there is going to be at a place that doesn't have a bar, which is concerning, because it's like, if you use all your, because you're going to get X amount of drinks, but if you use all those up and you want another drink, you can't get one in that place.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
I'm literally, the only way I can put this is I'm disappointed, because I think I know a lot of people that sit there and say, fuck the pub crawl, don't do it, come out with us as some sort of tribal organization in this game, and I think that is wrong. I think that is the wrong approach to take to this. But this year they're forcing a lot of people to do that.
So I was just talking to Grath, and he's like, look, he's not upset because the PL dinner, which is supposed to be going to have over 100 people at it, is scheduled at the same time as this thing, and
it always is.
But
hold on, Grath has no standing in this because the PL dinner always is scheduled at the same time.
As I was fucking saying, so I'm sitting here talking to them, because they can care less about the pub crawl, because what they want to do is they want to wait till Friday night or whatever when the big party is. He was talking about last year they had the big party, or Saturday. He said he said he made the funny comment about how this is a place that's not just for E people, it's for everybody. He said, matter of fact, last year they put a wall up while the shiny people were on one side, and all the E people were on the other. You weren't even allowed to look at them.
I made a recommendation. I made a recommendation probably 2 months ago. Okay, that the pub crawl this year, because I know what they did 2 years ago, which was outstanding.
I loved it.
Right
That was my favorite.
2 years ago was a fun pub crawl. We did a pub crawl down around the.
It was right around the hotel.
I'm gonna call it the London Eye, but it's not the London Eye.
It's the high roller.
The high roller, the big giant freaking Ferris.
It's basically
wheel
the London Eye in
there.
America.
Exactly. It's the London, it's the America's London Eye. Okay. There are a lot of bars and restaurants down there. We went to like bars, we had a drink, and then like midway through, you went and did the freaking high roller thing, and then you came back out and you did some more drinks. That was fun. What it gave people, and once again, remember, my focus on Eve Vegas is Eve and a destination location. Okay. I think that is what makes this a fun fucking event. We had a good fucking time. Last year, it was a standard kind of pub crawl. Yes, you saw a part of Vegas that you were not in by only being at Planet Hollywood. And for a lot of people who are coming to Vegas, this is going to be their one and maybe only time to see Vegas, to see
Go
this
excursion
part
out
of
away from like the local.
Exactly. Okay, so it got you out from there. All right. Here, and I am totally for if what was in their mind was we want to have an event that is not the Saturday night everybody's invited event, but all in one place, totally fucking cool. I think that is outstanding. Have 200 people or whatever the hell it comes out to that they limit it to be in one location. That would be cool. I'm just not sure that this warehouse with a bunch of pinball machines and no fixed kind of entertainment area is the thing that like people should be psyched up about. And that's sad.
The thing that I really liked about the first, well, it wasn't the first Vegas because technically there was a Vegas before that, but 2 years ago, the first Vegas that CCP was involved in and like actively, sponsoring and working with. The pub crawl was really great because one, all the bars were really locally around there. Like we didn't go take a bus to the other side of town, or it's like we walked out of the hotel and all the bars were within, very close walking distance. It was like all the different bars along the strip that were not like, inside the big casinos. It was the little side bars here and there everywhere. So the great thing was like, yes, if you were signed up for the pub crawl, you got your little lanyard that you got your punch and you can get your free drinks at all the places. But people that didn't want to buy the pub crawl ticket could still come and follow along. They would just have to buy their drinks. So it didn't exclude people that didn't want to buy the ticket.
So that's what we did for FanFest, because FanFest, they just go to all the local bars, which you go to anyway. Like I went 5 days ahead of FanFest starting, so I didn't even go to the pub crawl. I just ended up at the final destination, which like a local there who never bought a ticket showed up to. So I can see why like Vegas, when they're supplying the drinks, like I can see why they want to show more than just like Planet Hollywood. Because a lot of people stick around to Planet Hollywood, whereas Reykjavik is super, super small and it's super easy to walk around. Whereas Vegas is kind of like not so much fun walking around, you want to be able to get bussed. But I absolutely loved like last year's, where you did have to take a bus, but we went to some pretty decent bars. You got to mingle with the locals or like people touring or what the fuck ever. But then you did like a little bike tour thing, like that was fucking fun as hell. And then you got to ride on this like party bus with a stripper pole in it or some shit like that. Like I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I forget. I think Jay McClain was actually stripping on one of those. Well, not stripping, but actually dancing on the stripper pole. So that was.
Fuck yeah.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Catch you later, BC.
Ciao, fam.
But I mean, last year's was actually fun. It was fun. I mean, like it. You got to see a bunch of cool stuff because it's way on the other side of Vegas that you would never see unless you like took a trip out there. And one of the cool spots, like the very first stop, was the Atomic Bar, which apparently is the oldest independently owned bar in Vegas. It's not owned by the big casino.
I think it's the oldest still operating bar in Vegas. But
no, I think there's older bars, but they've been purchased out and bought out by the big casino. It's the oldest like free-owned bar. But the cool thing was like someone that was telling me a fun fact about it that I didn't realize is, have you ever played Fallout 3 New Vegas?
It's in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas. There's a broken down, like when you see it, it's like a broken down thing, and it's the Atomic Bar. That is the actual bar that we started at. So it's like, holy shit, I love that game, and we went to the bar. So it was just a little nostalgia thing that was kind of fun to go to. But
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. All right. For the people where this is their first time to Vegas or something along those lines, look, I think that you should go out there, regardless of where they go, and find a place to like congregate with other Eve players. What disappoints me about this is that every year Eve Vegas gets bigger. And every year we should be finding a way of bringing more people in to the congregational section of Eve. And I just don't think that this did that. I think that what this did was it told Eve Vegas veterans, go find something more fun than this. And I'm going to tell you right now, for literally a day and a half, I resisted. I'm like, oh my God, you have no idea how much all I want to do is just fucking hang out with the various viewers. But then I had to fucking fall back on my goddamn tribal shit right now, which at this time happens to be PL, okay?
Come still hang out with me, you baka.
No.
No.
Hold on.
No.
I'm going to have dinner with PL, okay? I'm going to have dinner with PL. And I swear to God, if I had any motherfucking initiative in me at all, okay, I would organize and we're going out here afterwards, okay? What I can tell you all right now, okay, is if you're getting in on Wednesday, if you're getting in on Wednesday to Eve Vegas, you should email me in game, Dirk, MacGirk, MacGirk, okay, in game. Right, let me know you're getting in, okay? Drayden, me, Mrs. McGurk, and Eve Best of us, Sean, our Jay McLean, are going to go to the Zoom line down on Fremont Street. Okay,
I'm afraid of heights.
Wednesday night, we're going to do this because on Thursday, the plan is that the Open Com show will be broadcasting live from Eve Vegas again. Okay. The plan is that we will be the pre-party to what will eventually go on Thursday night at the Heart Bar at Planet Hollywood. But if you want to go with us down to the fucking Zoom line, let's go. I wish that I had the fucking initiative to organize. I don't want to call it a fucking alt-right goddamn, thing on Friday night. But if you don't have another option, go hang out with the people like that will do the pub crawl on Friday night.
Yep.
I wish it was more enjoyable. I wish it was something that was set up for not thinking of us. I swear to God, who is thinking of us as like total 100%, like 110% nerds? We're not that level of nerd. We are a level of nerd that is still on the cool side of nerd.
Is there a nerd
You
scale?
have to
Not
understand that
fucking
Pin-
pinball nerds. What the fuck?
Unironically,
Who
yo.
came up with this? I want to find them
Dirk's
because
tilted.
they need to be held
Dirk's
accountable.
tilted.
Jintian
Doug,
actually
can
said.
I throw something at you before you tilt off the fucking face of the earth?
Yes.
Goddamn.
I'm sorry,
Jesus
bro.
Christ, man. You're like a fucking Beyblade. Once you get spinning, you can't stop.
I can't.
Beyblade!
It's fucking terrible.
But
You
no,
have to
for
understand,
real, Sam.
Jintan. You know what? You know, I'm American, so I don't look towards Iceland for the fucking home of a goddamn Eve party. I look towards Vegas. Okay, I do.
Alright, yeah, fair, but like Iceland has a different culture to America. I know that might be a fucking shocking revelation, but pinball is actually cool in Iceland.
It might
So, like,
actually be. That's true. I don't mean to appropriate what they've just found.
So like fucking they don't think that they need a cultural translator to fucking organize a party with Eve nerds, okay? And they're not fucking like setting up some sort of weird ass.
I think they
like,
do. I think they actually might need a fucking cultural translator of what kind of shit works around the goddamn world. And when you're having your party in fucking Las Vegas, Nevada, USA,
Number one.
maybe pinball machines aren't your fucking thing. Just because you lost out the year before on 80s video games does not mean you fucking... I don't know. Is this upshifting or downshifting? I'm not even sure.
I mean,
are they
Jintan.
doubling down or like going halvesies?
Jintan,
Well-
what CCP dev was like, I'm not fucking going to Vegas and doing a stupid presentation unless we get pinball? What dev was that? What dev? You know what dev it was.
No, man. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if you're asking me if it's a step up or down from pinball to that, it's like, you know, it's stuff that was from before I was born to stuff that was really before I was born.
Yeah.
So,
I can
There's
tell you
no
right now,
difference
if they wanted to make this fucking outstanding, okay, because here's the thing. Once again,
no, you know what they
I
really
could be
need to do?
totally
They need to
misled.
set up
I
their
could be
own fucking
misled
casino.
by the websites that are out there related to this, right? If what this is a room full of pinball machines, strippers, and booze, then the people who are going on this are going to have an outstanding time. If it is a warehouse filled with some dude's pinball machines, which is exactly what their websites describe, that is an
Describe.
entirely different story.
I also would not enjoy that, but, you know.
So
Yes.
Are you
Good
going to
thing.
E-Vegas? I know there's
No.
other CSM members.
why are you not coming to E-Vegas? We've got
'Cause I'm at a
multiple
fucking
people
wedding
from
in
Britain that are
Texas
coming.
at the same time.
You're
You're
going
doing
to
what?
Texas?
I'm going to a wedding in Texas at the same
Yo,
time.
fuck the wedding. Tell them to get married in Vegas.
No,
It's
they're probably gonna have
cheaper.
good barbecue at that fucking wedding.
Oh yeah, they probably will.
You know you're not
No.
that far though, right? You can catch a Greyhound bus and like roll on up.
Yeah, but I'm out of holiday days at my work, so rip.
But no matter what happens, look, no matter what you do on Friday night, I'm still going to rally behind the fact that Saturday night at Chateau Nightclub
That's always good.
at the Paris fucking hotel is going to be an outstanding event. We are going to have a fucking party time. Even on Thursday night, assuming that we get the approval that I require to even bother bringing the fucking equipment out there for, we are going to broadcast the Open Com Show live, okay, from the Eve Center, okay. And then after that, we are going to party like fucking rock stars down at the Heart Bar or wherever it is we are, but it'll probably be the Heart Bar because
It's
we're
always the
all
Heart Bar.
like,
The Heart Bar is like the general hangout. If you got nothing to do, go to the Heart Bar. You'll find you guys in there.
Friday, we will be doing shots in the fucking line to get checked in. Okay? We will be doing that.
What?
And then later in the day, we will have things like the opening ceremonies and probably the keynote address and stuff like that. And then we will have either A, you are going to the pinball machine thing, or you're doing whatever the hell it is you're doing. And then after that, we will have the Heart Bar. And then on Saturday, we will
I can't believe
really
you always
break
go back
it.
to the Heart Bar. I always get dragged away to either some private party or we go
Because
to
you're a
some
girl,
club.
you get dragged away to rooms.
No,
Wow.
not to rooms, to private shows like Diplo, like with partying with CCP and shit like that. So I don't know if this is gonna happen this year. The devs I've been
We're
talking
just
to.
dudes. We don't get dragged away.
You just
We're
gotta
dudes.
talk to people. There are dudes in the limo too, okay?
Like random dudes or like just like
I don't know. CCP Rise is just like, hey, who wants to go watch Diplo? And we're all like, okay. And so we all
what's
just climbed into
Diplo?
a limo. Diplo, the artist, the DJ.
Oh.
Like
He's
Major
a- he's a-
Lazer.
He's an EDM.
Okay. Yeah.
Trust me to fucking know who that is. Fucking hell.
Saturday.
But yeah.
Of course, we're there for all of the CCP presentations, the player presentations, and things like that, which we still have to see the menu for and whatnot to decide whether or not. What time are we
The
waking up,
menu.
right, Drayden?
The menu.
What time are we waking up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to see on Saturday what time we're waking up. Because if Jamie Clean is giving a fucking 9 a.m. presentation,
Well,
I'm waking your ass out of fucking bed.
yeah, well, Jay McClain will probably wake my ass out of bed because I'm
No,
rooming
he
with
won't,
him.
because he'll be down there sweating. He'll be down there sweating, being like, God damn, I'm sweating. But
Well, I'm sure he'd be like,
all
I'm going to do my
all we
presentation.
really
Get the
care
fuck
about
out of
from a
bed.
drinking standpoint is Saturday night, right? The fucking Paris,
Chateau.
the party at Chateau at the Paris nightclub, okay. And then, of course, is waking up Sunday morning to know that Rain has a goddamn presentation at 9
Why do you
a.m.
think
Sunday
mine's
morning.
on Sunday? What
Oh,
the
hey.
fuck?
Fist Stud
I'm
in
going
chat
to
is saying that
assume
they're.
yours is at 9 a.m. and that no matter what happens, I still have to wake up for it. Okay.
You will.
Oh,
I
hey,
will
hey,
have high expectations.
Fist Stud 299 in chat is saying that they're going to be working the check-in desk at eVegas. And also, when I was giving, he was one of those.
Are they going to fist us?
If you ask for it.
Oh my god. No, seriously. If you see Dirk McGurk, you'd be like, Fista.
Oh, you mean Brofist? I was
No,
like,
you just gotta be like, no, I'm not even saying brofist. I'm just
Wow,
like,
you
fisted.
oh God, I went way dirtier than that.
That's the code word.
okay.
But now you
Anyway.
give the code word out. To like
And when I was giving the
49
code,
people.
Blast Them to Hell is also one of the check-in guys, and they're asking for shots. So when we go to get checked in, we gotta find Blast Them to Hell
I will
Hold on.
have.
Number
and,
one,
and
I
Fist
walk around the
Stud.
goddamn.
We gotta give them some shots.
You know as well as I do, we're gonna do a shot right now. But I also walk around the goddamn check-in area with like a bottle of fucking Tito's, and I
Oh,
know that my man from fucking MPX walks around with a bottle of Reka because it is just like a different vodka like shot off.
Brennivin?
No, ain't nobody doing Brennivin at fucking like
Oh,
11:30 in the
please.
morning. Fucking
Ready?
black liquor is
Shots.
bullshit.
Shots.
Shots.
And Fista says they'll give you a fist and a Brofist.
Exactly.
You get a double.
You guys have those Marmite Collective or those Brave flasks, right?
No.
No, we're dudes.
Alright, so
we
I
don't
have
get
Marmite-
shit
I might
given
actually-
to us.
Fuck
Wait,
off! So
hey,
I have Marmite Collective flasks,
on our
which
open-
I'm just gonna be like smuggling around.
On our open, I'm always about the flask because like buying drinks in
I
Vegas
walk
is
around
super
with a
expensive.
legit
So
bottle. I don't need a
I
flask.
I like when we go to the Heart Bar, I bring a flask with me. It's like I'll buy a drink and then I'll
How are
take
you
several
gonna do
shots off the flask.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you gonna give people shots if you don't have a flask with you? Just smuggle them, and then you get
Oh,
super
Because
yeah.
I
sick
literally
Monday morning.
pour a fucking
No, I-
bottle down their throat.
Yeah,
or
they can just have it. I
carry
mean-
the fucking like Party City
It's
100
fine,
pack of shot glasses in case they don't want herpes.
Yeah, well, shit. I mean,
You have
hey,
herpes?
I have herpes.
No, but somebody probably just sucked off the bottle did. So I mean, like, why wouldn't you want the
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
free
like, shit.
plastic shot glass?
Nothing wrong with it.
I
You
mean,
know,
why
it's-
would you
Alcohol
go to-
kills
why would you go to
viruses,
Vegas
guys,
and
it's
not get an
fine.
STD? It's part of the
Yeah,
experience.
No,
nothing wrong with
it's
sharing some
okay to
booze.
come away from Vegas with herpes. It's a whole different thing to bring it there and like throw it on my fucking Tito's bottle. You
Right.
bitches.
But what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh no. Does our merchandise page thing? Do we have an open comms flask?
Yeah, why don't we have an open
I don't know.
comms
Maybe.
flask
Maybe
or
there
shot
is
glass?
that.
If we do, I'll get one of those and I'll take it down there. I have like a Jägermeister
Terrible,
flask, but it
though.
only
You know
holds
what?
like 6 shots. It's really small.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole point of the matter is like, you know what? You have a fucking backpack on your back. It's got some bottles and some shot glasses in the back of it. And when you see somebody walk by that you think like needs a drink, just fucking give them a drink.
Right. Yeah.
If you see a man who's
Now,
thirsty, do not.
One
turn
of
him
the
down.
things that I'm trying to
Right.
one of
Dehydrated
the
with
things
booze.
that I'm trying to negotiate, and I know that this late in the show is not the time to like fucking bring this up or whatever because it may diminish my results. But number one, we are trying to be able to negotiate broadcasting this show on a Thursday night, the night before the whole event starts, from Eve Vegas down around the place where we're gonna have actually Eve Vegas.
I'm pretty sure we will be able to negotiate that.
I believe so as well, Rain. I believe that we absolutely will. But on my wish list are two things. Okay? One, CCP like commits with us to like do this. But two, I want them to have an open bar there. I want this to be a community level event. I want this to be, it's not about open comms. It's like, hey, look, you know what? We're going to have an event that brings in podcasters from around the way that have come in on Thursdays or, you know, whatever. Okay. That we have players that have come in that tell us why are you here? Why are you here, player? Why did you decide to come in on Thursday as opposed to Friday? What is it that brought you to fucking Eve Vegas? Tell us your story. This is not about us talking. I mean, like right now, me, you, Drayden, and that guy that fucking left a little while ago. Okay, it's not about us. It's about you. Why are you here? Why did you come to Eve Vegas? What brought you here? And what are you looking forward to? Because I'll give up the fucking microphone the whole goddamn night to do fucking shots with people out there in the audience and shit like that. Make it live, do the whole goddamn thing. I want players to come and tell their story.
Yeah.
So that's what I like have on a wish list for fucking Eve Vegas, you know, on Thursday night anyways. Look, once Thursday night is gone, boom, that's a day behind me. Now I'm on to Friday night. What am I doing Friday night? Well, apparently I'm gonna have steak that's cut off a fucking skewer with the PL Bros, which is all cool and shit. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the PL Bros are cool. But when that dinner ends, I don't know if it's Heart Bar. Maybe it's some other cool fucking location.
They usually do a party at a suite, like Goons do.
On Friday, do they?
Mm-hmm.
That's bold. But I give them that for doing it on Friday because Goons do it on Saturday. And if you have balls, you'd be like, hey, look, you know what? After the Saturday party, which is the big party at Chateau, we're going to nut up and do a party on Saturday night.
Oh, triple party. Fuck.
I
I'll die.
mean, it's
I'll
like-
die.
Well, hold on. Are you competing? Are you competing with Saturday night?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Friday
Like,
nights, people is like, hey, lock, I just got out of work.
hey, Saturday
You know
night's the
what?
best night.
All I
Like,
wanna
if
do
I'm
is
gonna
have a
go, I might as well
fucking
go out
good
on a
time
Saturday
after
night.
work. No,
No, I'm just
Look.
worried. I'm just worried about the zip line. My luck, that line's gonna fucking
oh my
break
God.
when I'm on it.
The
That
zip
line's
line.
that line's gonna
If
snap
you
when
are
I go
around
down
on
it.
Wednesday night, I'm going to tell you right now, please on Wednesday night. Not on on that Wednesday night, but on a normal like right now. Tell me, we're coming in on at 3:00 p.m. Please include us in your fucking venture out to the fucking zip line thing. We're not doing that shitty ass halfway zip line thing. We're doing the fucking fly like Superman, and then once we're done with that, go for drinks, fucking Zoom line.
Yeah.
And that's me, Drayden, Mrs. McGurk, and fucking Jay McLean. And right now, that's all we have.
I looked it up.
But
It's
if you're
only
coming in on
$10.
fucking
It's only
Wednesday,
$10
or gonna
a
be there
zip.
earlier, come do it with us.
Yeah, it's only $10 a zip. It's really cheap.
No, it's actually not $10 a zip. I have no idea what fucking state-sponsored fucking zip line you're rolling on.
I looked it
okay?
up online.
It's
Unless I look, maybe I looked up the
It's
half-ass
45
one.
bucks.
Oh, okay. I looked up the half-ass
Because
one.
number one, Mrs. McGurk says, I don't want to do it during the daytime. We're going at night. And I'm like, I totally agree. We're going at night.
Well, yeah, that's when the TV screen's all lit up and shit.
45 bucks. 45 bucks. We will zoom through, I don't know, whatever it is, 1,500 feet of bullshit. And then we're going to go and, fucking drink after that. Drinks not included.
You guys are doing that on
Asterisk.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
What are you doing Thursday during the day?
Thursday during the day, literally, I swear to God, I hope
Alright, we're
this
hanging
year
out.
totally fucking supering up and then getting
Subaru?
plastered on something on Thursday night.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Oh, this show. This show, hello.
Oh yeah, Thursday night.
But if
this
you
show.
roll in at noon, we're totally
Yep.
gonna drink before this show.
Oh, 100%.
Rain.
Yeah, I'm
we
bringing
still got
alcohol
you.
with me.
You're
gonna bring it
bringing
on the plane?
alcohol with you?
Why not get it down there?
Why are
I'm
you
not
trying to
spending
blow,
money. Where
blow
would
the
I
plane
buy
up
that?
with your fucking
There's a liquor
explosive
store in
underwear?
the ABC. You know the Miracle Mile? There's an ABC
No.
store. They sell liquor right there. They don't sell Tito's,
Oh,
but
I'd
there's
rather
liquor
bring it.
There's liquor stores all over town.
Bullshit. Right now in the fucking Miracle Mile, down in the fucking ABC store, they do sell Tito's.
Oh well.
However,
when I looked for it a
that's
couple
not
years ago,
the
they
liquor
didn't have
store
it.
you want to go to if you're coming from the airport. But if all you're doing is buying one bottle or a fucking six
The
pack or
liquor
whatever,
stores down
just
there,
buy
it's
it
like
there.
it's not that overpriced. Like it's like $2 or $3 more than what I pay here in Idaho.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure Idaho is
I
pretty
stop
cheap
at a
on
different
alcohol.
liquor store because I'm buying in fucking quantity. It's either a case of fucking Tito's and a fucking
No, I
case
don't
of
buy
beer
case.
or whatever.
I just bought a liter.
I'm not
of,
buying that from there. But they're $1 extra, $2 extra.
Yeah, I bought a liter.
I
of,
don't
like,
even know why I'm stopping at that other place. What am I saving myself? $12?
Yeah, like here, a liter of Tito's is like 24 something. It's like $25.
This
Down
is how I
there,
play Eve.
down there it was like 26
I won't
bucks,
pay more
27
than I
bucks.
have to in
It's
Eve.
not much.
Why should I pay more than that for Tito's? I am looking forward to this, despite what I was saying tonight. Earlier tonight regarding their absolutely fucking abysmal choice of pub crawl, pin crawl, not a pub crawl, whatever you want to call it thing. I am looking forward to Eve Vegas. This is going to be a good time with people who I associate with every day in this fucking game, as well as people who I fucking chat with in this Twitch chat. The open comms deplorables. And if I could have made more than one fucking t-shirt, this t-shirt is costing me out the ass. Literally, I'm going to tell you right now, because of that fucking Rich Javix design, it is costing me out the ass. If I could have done, like I did last year, 2 different versions of a t-shirt, one of them would have been the, like, Open Deplorables show, okay, or Deplorable Comms show, or some shit like that t-shirt. I couldn't afford it this year. Way too fucking much. But we should all totally fucking have a good time in Vegas. And Jintan,
I think it's
I'm
pretty hard to
totally
not
fucking
do that.
surprised that you're not coming from that terrible fucking island. You guys aren't even gonna have friends from the continent next to you. You should totally be coming over here just to, like, come party with us.
But yo, I'm gonna be in the American continent. I'm just not gonna be in Vegas.
He is
Well,
gonna be
if you're in the
Texas, so I give
American
him credit
continent,
for
you're
having
halfway
fucking
there
barbecue.
already, no matter where you're at.
It would actually be my first time in America. So that'd be
Where,
fun.
where are you going to?
Is it really?
You're going to be in Texas too. I'm so sorry.
Wait, where are you going to? What?
I'm going to a friend's wedding.
Oh, where in Texas? Dallas?
Yeah,
Houston?
Dallas.
Oh.
Well, near Dallas.
Shit,
It's so
you
weird.
can go visit
he's
BC.
he's gonna come over here and he's gonna see, like, barbecue everywhere. I went to fucking London my first time, and the only thing I ever saw was mushy peas. I'm like, who likes peas to begin with, let alone
I like
mushy
peas.
peas?
I don't like mushy peas.
Mushy peas are pretty great with chips.
They're
Now,
the only thing that goes with chips.
chips,
but
you mean fries?
Seriously, mushy peas? Like, why do you have to mush them up?
I don't know. I don't actually like mushy peas, but whatever. I like curry sauce better.
That's like creamy corn. Like,
You can't say, "Oh God, I like curry sauce too." That is from a total place that you subjugated long ago.
Yes.
You didn't
is all
subjugate
like
the
your
place
fucking
that
food.
invented mushy peas. You guys just like peas and decided we don't want to chew them.
The Brits
Yeah,
are
pretty much.
the Brits are uniting. Marshmallow is like mushy peas are glorious, you heathen.
Fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
We're
And
just
the
a bunch
worst
of
part
rebels
is,
over here. Like,
on
we
your
don't-
on your way out, you like get down to Heathrow, and it's like, oh yeah, I want a quesadilla. What are my side orders? Well, you can have chips or mushy peas, and it's
Well-
like, what kind of fucking what
At the end
option
of the
is
day-
that?
Us,
You have your culture. You have your food culture. Your food culture is, yeah, we're gonna make our own thing. We're gonna stand on our own. We're gonna be independent. Yeah, England's food is all the rest of the world's food that we fucking took from people. Because we're so
Classic.
good
Actually,
at our own
actually,
food.
that is totally true because there was a time when fucking England's food, like people were like, "Oh my God, this is literally the worst place in the world for food." But because of all the places that they fucking like conquered years ago, they began to have an influence of food from there. And now England is actually one of the places that like has the best mixes of food in the world besides the United States, which because we were always a melting pot.
It's America, fuck yeah.
us rebel colonials don't know what good food is.
I've
Yeah.
been told that I need to put some tea in the sea when I come to Texas.
no, that's not how it works.
No,
That was in
that's on the
Boston.
East Coast. That's the East Coast.
Just eat some barbecue when you're there. When somebody
Oh,
offers you something where there's
barbecue,
meat
yeah.
on a bone, or meat not on a bone, or it's just like meat on a plate, or like meat on a piece of newspaper,
Oh, yo.
just
that
eat it
reminds me-
because it's
that
meat.
reminds me of the first thing I did this summer. I landed and I was like, fuck, I haven't eaten in 8 hours. I'm so hungry. And I looked around me and like the only people with me were Sullen and Mr. Hyde. And I was like, yo, I'm going to take you guys to the American bar. And they both looked at me like I was...
Oh yeah, they have the
Evil.
American bar. I forgot about that. I
it's
never
like-
went.
They just
Fuck
got
that.
on. It's nice. It's nice.
Wait, what's the American
They-
bar?
It's at Iceland. There's like literally a bar and it markets itself as like an American bar. But
How
it's, like,
American is
super-
it?
I don't know. I didn't go because I was
Nice.
like, why the fuck would I go to an American bar?
I
don't go to
would've
bars
went
in
just to
America.
see-
You guys,
just
you
see if
guys
I felt at
laugh, but
home.
When something calls itself the American bar, okay, there are people from America who are in that country that sit there and say, hey, you know, my wife, for her high school trip for her senior year trip in high school, she was supposed to go to like Germany and Switzerland and like good shit like that, okay? Instead, they changed the trip to Norway and the Soviet Union. And she went.
It was actually
They
back
got
when it
to-
was the
hold on.
Soviet Union.
Number one, Norway was fucking outstanding as far as she was concerned because they had a McDonald's. However, back at that time, it cost her like $20 to eat at fucking McDonald's in Norway. And then
Norway's
they went to the Soviet
expensive.
Union. and then they went to the Soviet Union.
Like the actual Soviet Union, not Russia. Like
I'm not talking about fucking Russia here, people.
You're talking about like
because
pre-1990s.
I'm Dirk. I'm fucking
like,
old,
Soviet
and
Union.
like she's old enough to have seen that too. Okay, they went to fucking Russia. Okay, and like my wife is like a food fuss, a total fucking like that girl that you take out to dinner who's like, no, not that. Okay, that's her. All right.
I've seen it.
Yeah, well, Russia was not fucking good for that. They literally went to the American embassy where they had a burger joint in the American embassy, and one of their friends did not have their passport to be able to get in. They left that motherfucker standing outside because they were like, we need a burger.
Wow. Fuck
No
that.
fucking joke, okay? I mean, here's the thing. When you get to some of these countries, it's like, oh, man, you know, it's like, I want to try what you have, but there reaches
It
a
all looks
point
like
where it's
shit.
like, I've tried everything, but oh my God, I just want a burger, a real burger. Not that thing you call a burger, but a real American burger.
Yeah. Well, the reason I brought that up was I was taking Americans had just got off the plane to Iceland, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna eat American food," and they just hated me for it. And second of all, I got shouted at for eating wings wrong
By Solon.
by Solon. Yeah, he threatened.
How are
he
you? Were
told
you
me
eating with
that-
a
How
fork?
do you
Oh,
eat
no,
wings?
that's
with-
so
hold on.
Solon.
Are you
Do you eat them with a
are
fork?
you
You eat them
throw
with
the
silverware,
whole wing
didn't you?
in and
You
chew
ate
the
them with
meat
silverware?
off as you pull out, or do you eat it like around this way?
No, I have like the wings in my fingers. Oh, I
Two
can't
hands,
avoid
yeah.
actually, so yeah, but I have it like that, and I'll gnaw it around, but I'll leave the
That's-
edges on because I only like the tender meat. And Mr. Hyde looked
Oh,
at me
that's
and
how I
said,
eat my
if my
wings."
roommate saw you do that, he would kill you.
Oh well, okay.
Huh.
That's
I
a misconception.
Eat it the same
That's
direction he does, but I gnaw literally every edible piece of thing off of the bone.
I don't.
That's
I
disgusting.
see.
You're uncivilized. in the
no,
deep end, and it
see,
doesn't
I'm-
surprise me.
I'm
No,
actually
but I
with
know
Jintan
people who
here.
will
I
sit there and eat,
I will
like,
eat
in
the
a-
good meat
in
off
a
of it, and the
horizontal direction.
I will eat the good meat off of it, but I'm not gonna eat the tendons off of the bone. I
Oh,
don't.
bullshit. Does it have the sauce that came with the wing?
No,
on
because that's
it?
on the outside.
No.
Wing sauce is great.
Everything but the thing that my teeth might break on.
No. I eat what's like, chewable, and then when it's done, it's like next to. Although I'm one of those, I guess one of those people that's like, I'll eat wings with the bone-in wings, but if there's boneless wings available, give me that shit because I can just
Oh my
fucking
God.
pop that shit in my
Yeah,
mouth
I
and just
need
eat it.
I need to revert only to throw Jintan back. Like, I'm gonna throw him back a fucking chicken wing bone right now. Jintan, let me ask you a question.
Sup?
The PVE roundtable, or the PVE, it wasn't a roundtable. It wasn't actually like we want to hear from like all of you sitting around the roundtable. It was more like the PVE town hall.
That's what it was called.
All right.
That was the name.
After having done that, and then going to the summit, do you wish you had done that differently? Tell me about the PVE roundtable, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a guy who has lived in nullsec since like the second month I was in the game. All right, but PVE is something that I find to be a concrete fucking foundation of this game.
Yeah, I will say that the town hall itself was moderately productive. Like, I definitely could have done it better, but I think that we got some stuff done. The main thing that came out of it, however, was I made a bunch of contacts and I was able to ask them some questions. And actually, a huge group of them went out and specifically, basically, wrote up a shitload of notes for me on everything and like what the state of it was, basically. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I need. Thanks. So I just printed that off and took it to Iceland. I had like a 4 or 5 page document that just went over every individual PVE like section of the game, and just was like ready to talk to CCP about it. But then we ended up just like not really talking about PVE that much because there was so much other fucking stuff to talk about, and that saddened me. I'm gonna push for a dedicated health of PVE panel next summit.
Did you listen to anything that we talked about in this show, or maybe Talking in Stations, or maybe This Week in New Eden regarding PVE?
I've never heard This Week in New Eden, but I do listen. To
Oh my
the show,
god,
and I
that's
do
fucking
listen to-
terrible because he's from England. Goddamn Wiggles hosts it every Sunday.
Yeah, I listen to Talking in Stations and I listen to this show, so I like. But yeah, I do pay attention.
I'm concerned about the fact that, look,
Oh.
PvE permeates all aspects of this game. Go, Drayden.
It's Theodinko's birthday, apparently.
Shut the fuck up.
He just said he's been drinking. It's my birthday.
What? He doesn't, like, put that out there in fucking caps?
He doesn't know what caps
All right.
lock is. Although, well, he does.
Shots
but...
of the Theodinko. I swear to God. I swear to God. Drayden. Because, like, Rain's not even fucking looking. She's
I'm
like,
fucking
hey, I'm
paying
PvP.
attention.
and
She's
shit."
in a dungeon.
She's in a dungeon.
She's busy raiding and wow.
If all of a sudden he fucking rolls up with this shit like 3 months from now, just remember this, please. Okay? Because between you and me, you're the only one that's gonna remember this.
Will I?
No. Neither one of us will. But I'm throwing it out on your fucking... Yeah. Been drinking bourbon since 2 p.m. CST like a mofo. That doesn't make it your birthday.
No, what
I'm
is it, your
afraid. I'm afraid
birthday
like
is
I'm
that
like
you
giving
are
him
now-
extra birthday credit.
No, it's his birthday and he's been drinking since like midday, so he's
Probably taking.
There's
taking
all
birthday
kinds
off
of
work.
people who play Eve that have been drinking since midday. Like,
well, yeah, but
literally,
there's a
literally
reason.
Matani drinking since midday.
But all those people drink from midday for no reason. He's doing it for a reason. It's
Well, he's
birthday.
saying
Therefore,
he
it's
is.
acceptable.
This is the whole. This is the whole
Dude,
thing
Nico, are
about
you lying?
buying
Is
into
it your
people who
birthday
have
or is it
fucking
not?
social anxiety and shit. It's like I don't know if you have social anxiety. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want attention.
You are getting fucked up, man. You're actually starting to slow.
I
down.
have, see,
no.
This
does
is
this
the
a lot.
problem. Rain and Drayden.
Rain.
Drayden. I've tried to
Rain.
tell you about people who don't drink on a fucking show at the same time. None of us are all on the same level.
Well,
Is that my
Okay,
fault?
but-
You white girl wasted
no.
dirt?
Thiet says it is his birthday. He's like, I would not troll my
man, If I
own.
had a fucking white girl vagina, it would be so cool.
Oh, crediting everything to your vagina because I'm too fucking pussy.
Or
Doesn't
if I
matter
had
how
a white
good I am, how
guy,
bad I am.
small, tiny penis. Why can't people call it white guy, small, tiny penis wasted? That's
'Cause
too many
white
words.
girl
They
wa-
can't,
okay, so
they
white
can't
girl
fucking
wasted-
enunciate it.
White girl wasted is a state
Yeah, it's how I get every time I look at.
of
an
like
apple.
getting really emotional
what
when
is-
you're drunk,
what is
trying
the
to call your
what is
ex.
the non fucking dick vagina version of that?
White.
The
white
non-dick
person
vagina.
wasted.
That's like nothing.
No, the micro non-discrobial.
What the fuck are you
Discrobial. That's
saying,
a.
my God?
We're making up
Are you
words here.
trying
To...
to say
Who-
gender neutral?
I am making up
We are
words,
just
I gotta
like
be honest.
inventing anatomy. Like this is great.
Are you
Back
trying-
in my day, making up words was a drinkable offense.
You're trying to say gender neutral, but you're like, hey, let
Oh
me
my
just
god!
add-
Oh my god! That's it. Gender neutral. I am
Like-
totally fucking bro.
Like Marilyn Manson on the
keep
album
fluid
cover.
Fucked off my face drunk, okay?
It
Folk-
is. It
wait,
is
hold
true.
on, hold on.
Jen, hey, do you ever get so drunk you
Why are
don't
you
remember
so
part of the
true?
CSM?
Why are you so true, Jen?
You know, it's obviously it's because I live in England, therefore I took a truth potion when I went. to
Fucking
Hogwarts.
Queen is awesome.
Oh,
The
dude.
Queen is awesome. She is. She's
God
a good
save the
girl.
Queen.
She is.
She's pretty great.
Yeah.
Look
Now
at
here's the
Olivia
thing.
Jones.
Who succeeds her? Is it Henry?
No, it's Prince Philip, her husband.
Really? Not her son?
Wait, if she's a queen, how is she married to a prince? That doesn't make sense.
You'd think that'd be
Welcome
making
to
him a king.
welcome to the monarchy. Fucking, it doesn't
Well,
make any sense.
yeah, that's the thing. Like
This
when
is
it,
how what happens when you inbreed. Like, Jesus.
well, no, that's well, I don't know if they're inbred, but here's the thing. When a king marries a woman, she becomes the queen. How come when a queen marries a guy, he doesn't become the king?
Because the queen can never be the ruling monarch when there is a king present.
Wow, so your fucking
Oh.
government is sexist.
Well, it's been very traditional. Now I could say
It's
because
actually no longer that way.
a
but,
lot
like,
of-
they're not going to change the titles
Well-
over fucking 2,000 years of fucking
Right.
tradition because of your like special snowflakeness. All right?
well, here the thing is like and this goes even way back to like, you know, ancient Rome, and even before that, it's like the male heir line is where the family stood. And actually, like I've listened to a bunch of like Rome podcasts and stuff. Not to put a plug in there, but History of Rome podcast by Mike Duncan, really fucking good. You
that's
should listen.
awesome.
Oh, you've listened. It's really fucking good. You should listen to it.
Revolutions as well.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
caught
top-
up with Revolution. I finally caught it. I found out about his podcast like half a year ago, and then I listened to all of the. He did History of Rome podcast. Took him like 4 or 5 years to finish. I binge listened to it in about 3 weeks, and then I binge listened and caught all the way up to Revolutions. And then I sent him a tweet saying like, "Hey, I just listened to like everything you've made in about a month." And he's like, "It took me 7 years to do all this." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's."
Have you you would probably like Dan Carlin's podcasts then, if you haven't heard of those?
I haven't,
Hardcore
but
History.
I love
Yeah, look
love
up-
history, but.
Look up Hardcore History Blueprint for Armageddon. You will fucking love that series.
I'll have to check it out. But anyway, like yeah, so the Rome thing is like back then even like the as far as like what was considered like immediate family was based on the male line, and so there was a lot of times in the Roman history where like there was actual like blood relations, incest going on, but they didn't consider incest because it was
Whoa.
a
Don't
male.
throw incest out there like it's like. Hey,
I'm
we're
doing a
from this
history
side
thing.
of the
This is-
mountain.
This is like in the 200s BC and shit, but or like the 100s AD anyway. But it's like you would have like a kid from the male line, and then like say like that person's cousin or brother or no sister, so like from a female line, and they could intermarry.
You're fucking the Welsh up here,
and
big
it
time.
wouldn't be considered incest because it was from a male line and a female line, which was another male line, so they're considered different families. So like. We got on this with the whole like British monarchy thing, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, so like it's the male line is what is considered the dominant line and has been forever, just because that's just like
It's
We have to
because
be
you-
honest.
been
Though.
that
It
way,
has nothing
but-
to
This
do
is
with
really
the male
weird.
line. We have to.
Well,
we
it's,
have to be honest. It has to do with the
modernization
fucking-
is
At the end of the day-
changing
The
that, but you know,
racial line,
back in the day, that's how it was.
What you want to do is the patriarchal line. Okay, you're absolutely correct. Okay, but we know that that is a very thin line above a fucking safe space free zone.
At the end of the day, the laws actually did change, so a firstborn girl is now on the same level as a firstborn male in English
Oh,
monarchy. That was
nice.
changed. I think
She could
earlier
be
this
queen.
year.
She could be
Hashtag
queen.
feminism.
No, I think yeah. If if Prince is it who the fuck got married? I don't remember.
I thought it was
All I know
Henry,
is that
or
he
is
got
it
a day off?
Harry?
That's literally all I know about that.
Well, Harry was the younger one. Wasn't Henry the older one that married the chick from America?
Don't know.
Kate or whatever her name is?
Oh yeah, Kate.
Now you're asking us to come up with BBC history.
Well, no.
And we
Is
know
Kate
that the
American? Like, I
BBC
heard
is who
rumors of that, but, like,
dictates
Is Kate
English
American?
monarchy history.
Is Kate American? Because I thought that was like a big like thing where they're like, oh, the Prince of England like married this American girl that's not even royalty. Was that true, or is that like just some shit I heard?
Yeah, no, she wasn't. She's not got any royal blood in her.
I know she's
I mean,
not a
the-
royal
the
family,
fact
but
that
is
that
she American?
Exceptional says something about how monarchies work. Because there's only two class of people who inbreed.
I-
And that's fucking rednecks and the people at the top of the food chain.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hold on, time out. I thought it was rednecks and Welsh.
No, the Welsh.
No,
are
Welsh
fucking-
go for sheep.
They do, but if they can't throw their shit that way, it's over into the sister.
It's like the Wales is like
Oh,
America.
this
Wales is
such
like America's
bullshit.
Montana. Montana is a sheep breeding state.
It's
I live
terrible.
right-
This is
I live
not the
right
way
out in
any of
country
this should
in
go.
England, so I live in basically the English version of the Midwest, I guess.
Locatar saying I didn't
live
watch.
in the American version of
No,
the Midwest.
Locatar saying I didn't even watch the royal wedding. Yes, I did, because there was those two royal chicks. I don't know who they were, but they were wearing some weird fucked up shit. The girl with the weird bubble fucking hat, the blue bubble hat. And I did watch that royal wedding, and
Have
I
you-
was like,
have you
"Who the
ever
fuck are
watched-
those two? They're wearing."
Was that?
some-
Were you watching the royal wedding or
I
the
did.
royals?
I did. I watched the royal wedding. I watched it.
Jesus.
I didn't watch it. I was just like, fucking sweet day off, time to drink.
But well, no. I watched it. I was just like, you know, everyone's wearing like this high fashion stuff. But then there was these two people. It's like, okay, you could call that fashion, but that's Lady Gaga shit you're wearing right there. I don't know what that is.
I
You've
literally
never,
think you were
you've obviously
watching
never
the
seen the horse
Royals.
races, the Cheltenham horse
No.
races, because those have some incredible hats. Those are like fucking retarded.
It wasn't just the hats; it was the whole outfit. The whole outfit was like. But anyway, what was it?
Diego was saying Kate is descendant of Paul Revere.
Really? Okay, so
I don't
maybe
know
she
who the
is.
fuck that is.
Paul Revere?
Hold on.
That's
Kate
the
or
British
Paul
are coming
Revere?
guy.
Yeah, he's the one that rode out
So
from.
like they used to
Who?
have like a
Hold on,
candle.
time out. Before you say it, Rain. Drayden, what did Paul Revere do?
He rode out and warned, like when some British invaded. Like I honestly, like it's bad because
Was he the guy who rode out, or was he in the
Okay,
tower?
no, he was the one
No,
who
he wasn't
rode
in a
out
tower.
because they normally did candles. The candles were fucking off because it was foggy. So Paul Revere had to ride from house to house warning people that it was the British are coming. But he didn't say the British.
It wasn't
because
just
this is
necessarily-
colonial
The police
America.
are coming. The police are
No,
coming.
no,
They're
it
gonna
wa-
shoot us.
but
No,
it wasn't-
no,
it wasn't-
No, it's the enemies are coming because he called them
Oh.
redcoats because back then
sorry, the
everyone
redcoats.
was considered
Right,
British.
right.
Because it was colonial
well-
America, so he was warning people, "Hey, people are coming," and he like saved America from some invasion or some shit. I don't really remember.
Well, the thing is, like, I should know this because I listened to the Revolutions podcast. It's like they went over this, and I don't remember it very well. But it wasn't just to warn house to house. He actually rode out like several like tens of miles
Like he
Correct,
to
rode,
go
correct.
warn
like,
to
that
go
guy
warn the
put a full
army.
fucking Union Day of riding in.
No, he went to go warn the colonial like militia that was garrisoned somewhere that hey, the British are like coming in when we weren't expecting them, and they got so they had a heads up when they were trying to do some surprise attack or something. I don't know. I don't take my word for it, but
Those guys who only drink Chivas are coming in from the ultimate angle.
something like that. But no, the one thing with Harry and Kate's kid that not only was I disappointed, and I only become disappointed with it when our British friend Giles brought it up to me, was that he's like, okay, they had their kid and they named it this, and Giles was like, I'm pissed they didn't name it Arthur. We've never had a King Arthur, and we could have if they had named their kid Arthur.
Because it is actually written. You cannot name your royal child Arthur because that shit will fuck up the entire system of the UK, and they've already done that with Brexit.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
We
if
also
they-
generally don't call firstborn males John for that reason, because we had one King John and he was a massive.
he
cunt.
was horrible. Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, if they named him Arthur, eventually it might take a long time, but eventually he would probably make it to kingship, and he would be King Arthur, and a legend is like.
And go, oh fuck yeah!
Because King Arthur was a legend, but as far as real monarchical systems has gone in
Monarchical.
England, you guys have never ever had a King Arthur, and you could have, but they didn't name their kid right.
It will fuck up the prophecy. Exactly. Steve.
Fuck up the promise.
And I swear to God, Merlin will get the fuck pissed off about that.
Hey, Jin.
Sup, that's my
I
name.
received a DM from Matt Cannibal, and he says, "Ask Jin about Panda at the summit."
Wait, Marshmallow
Uh,
saying
No.
Do you have no
don't even need to
comment? If you
say
have no
anything.
comment,
the
that's
mere
okay.
fact that you put your fucking fingers to your eyebrows and went, oh, what do I say here now?
Okay, so Marshmallow saying they can't use Arthur.
Thanks for banging your girl out, Rain.
I'm kind of curious about that because like I've been talking to Panda this whole time, so I don't know why he would like. Panda doesn't go to those things. She's not like she would
She-
not
she
be allowed to
literally-
go with. She wouldn't be
No, she
allowed
was
in like
she
the
was in
CSM
the CCP
summit.
offices and things like that. She
Yeah.
wasn't in the summit, but like she was around. It was really weird. I don't know. And she was like streaming from the CCP offices and things, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
that's really
she was doing
cool,
that.
but like, why?
'Cause she
I
got-
just
So-
didn't understand.
I know
what's going on.
So Panda has said she is holidaying in Iceland because she does have friends in Iceland, and so like I mean that's not too like private because you can see it on her Twitter. She's literally like, "Hey, I'm in holiday in Iceland."
Also, I got
So,
called
I
like
don't
a
know why.
massive cunt to her whilst I was fucked up. Whilst I was really drunk, I was just like fucking laying into her for some reason.
You were mean to her. You are such a dick. I'm kicking you out as soon as speak.
I know.
Well,
I'm
what do you
kicking
mean?
out.
I'm gonna
I
tell you
don't-
right
I
now.
don't
If all of
remember.
y'all Hold on. Number one, anybody who follows me on fucking Twitter, if you see my ass fucking tweeting out, and then the next week I'm fucking tweeting my ass out from fucking Iceland, you have got to be asking yourself, holy shit, what the fuck is Dirk doing?
Oh, well.
Look at that. Marsha's even mad at you. Yeah, you better be face palming, you asshole.
It's not even about face palming. It's like,
She lives on your island. She can find you.
When you touch your brow, it's usually to show shame.
no, it's
So when
like,
people
what am I
face
gonna
palm-
say now? It's not about shame. It's about like,
Oh,
how
I watched,
do
you know
I
that TV
phrase
show
this?
Lie
Or
to
just
Me?
to fix
It's
your
about shame.
eyebrows, like.
Yeah, I'm sure
yeah.
TV
Like,
shows
sometimes
are
I go,
really
oh,
reputable
what am I
source
gonna
I mean,
say
you
of
can
about
go
psychological
Google
things.
it.
Somebody
Come
asked
here.
Or
me
if you have a
question about
headache, if you're just
BC,
like,
what am I gonna
ugh.
say right now?
you have a headache?
Shame.
If I have a headache, I touch my eyebrows on my headache.
embarrassment.
Do you want to fucking get the bell out?
What's that
Is it-
supposed to mean?
That's fighting
Do you want to leave
words.
me down fucking King's Landing?
Yeah, that's fighting
Been
Yeah.
words.
saying this much.
King's
Yeah,
Landing?
you show up to Vegas, I'll 1v1 you.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll
Somebody
give you,
brought
the
that up.
MT, like,
Somebody brought that
tomorrow.
up today. That the relation between the Alliance tournament and Vegas should have required that they planned it out. Hold on. Should have required A, that they planned it out, and B, that Vegas should have been the finals. And it's like literally what, a week after the fucking finals?
Are you? So the AT is next. So Eve Nottingham is this week, which I really hope Jintan that you all are going. And then the AT first
Anybody
round
who's
will
like
be.
eating mushy peas should totally be at fucking Eve Nottingham.
Yo,
But no, so next weekend is the Alliance tournament, which will be streamed by 2 ISD channels because there are 2 matches going on at any one time.
actually, more
and-
than that,
But
it's going to be
narrated
streamed
by-
Event
but
and
narrated
And
I'm
it will,
by-
yes, it will be streamed by Even T, and I know this because I am one of the few lucky commentators, and I am like extremely nervous because what the fuck?
Yo, I'm gonna see
How
you
did I
there.
not get selected for that? I would have
You
totally
didn't
been
fucking
like,
apply-
oh my
what do you
god,
have- what
fucking
experience
red
do you have,
box
Dirk?
just shot blue box. Oh my god.
Oh my god, this is why you're not a commentator, Dirk.
Face Star guy, thanks
It
for
is,
the
it's
follow.
true.
To be fair, you'd make a good color commentator. Dirk.
Oh,
I reckon you could
shit.
be a good color commentator.
Dirk.
No, my shit is literally, oh my god, bar on the left just went down, bar on the right is still holding.
Dirk, we have another code to give away.
Ew. We do.
After
Give it
dark
away, bro.
codes?
I don't know. Is it? If it's still fucking yellow, give it away.
Well, no, I can't do that. Black out the upper yellow one. There's one yellow one that's not been used yet.
All right,
I
Oh.
can play Overwatch.
give them both. Give them both away, bro.
No, I already gave
yeah,
one of those
Overwatch
away.
is fine.
I'm telling
Dude,
you right
do
now.
you have
I'm telling you
Overwatch?
right
I
now.
have a
They do not
European
care.
account.
Just
Oh
fucking
no,
give it
I
away.
don't. Fucking
I have
A.
an NA account. Don't worry about it.
So like, I have a WoW account. Okay, so let me preface this with like 30 minutes of like explaining why I'm playing WoW. So my pizza
Because you're a
bros, the
dwarf
guys-
in real life.
healers, so they convinced me to play WoW. But I told them I would not play it 100%. Like they'd have to fucking guilt trip me. So you know how they guilt trip me? They bought me the fucking game, but they bought it on one of their accounts to
Because
let
you're a
me use.
lady.
Yeah, I know. I keep trying to like convince them to like buy it for the boyfriend and all these like other like fucking outrageous requests. So it said Overwatch was updating. So I was like, oh, I'll play
Literally
Overwatch.
nobody has ever bought me a game. Does that make you feel bad?
Dude,
I don't like
Dude.
being bought
Oh,
games, and
no,
I'm
no, we
guilt
don't
tripped
want to
into
hear from
fucking
you.
healing
We
for
don't
the
want to hear from
stupid
you,
Hold on.
game.
motherfucker.
Drayden, where is your brother right now?
He's up at hunting camp.
He
Oh.
doesn't have a camp because he burned his tent
No,
down.
no,
Oh,
they have a
wow.
camper, but he did burn.
okay,
Oh,
so-
I have to do that whole story.
BCY.
Dude, hold on. So I'm sitting in the OG comms, and the dude gets on there, and I swear to God, I'm like, dude, is that fucking hip hop? And he starts laughing. He sounds just like your brother, dude.
OG
I'm like,
comms?
what the fuck? Yeah.
Number one, I totally expect that anybody on OG comms sounds like hip hop
Wait,
because
oh-
they're all trying to pretend that they're
What
fucking
the hell is OG
Jeff Rader.
comms?
It's
It's like
a,
some circle jerk thing that like BC needs to constantly bring up, like, oh my OG comms guys, like.
no,
it's
no,
like,
no,
well-
it's not. No, it's a PL3. It's a comms that PL6
It's my
so they can play.
my PL,
Like
bro.
doing now,
Um,
Garrett.
My OG comms,
or
like
hip-hop.
OG comms, like yeah, I was on the pizza team speak.
Hey,
My
hold
pizza
on.
guys,
Stop
yeah,
back
pizza,
trade,
pizza,
whatever.
pizza,
I did
pizza,
too.
pizza, pizza, pizza,
It's
pizza.
a comms that have it open for.
Like you can literally just say I was talking to some people.
Wow, dude.
like,
Okay,
please.
so anyways, it's a comms they have set up so they can talk to other people while playing other games besides Eve and stuff. So like people that know that play Dota and shit like that.
Yo, I also play Dota. That's fun.
But anyways, I was sitting there like, holy shit! I swear to God, I thought this. I was man, this dude is totally your brother. Then I remember, yeah.
I was like,
I
he's
thought you
never
fell
played.
asleep, man.
He's
What
never
happened?
played even his life.
No, but it had nothing to do with Eve. Nobody over there's playing Eve. Right now, I think they're playing World of Warships or something.
Is that a meatball sub, Dirk?
Oh my god, this is totally a fucking meatball sub. Somebody out there mentioned like way hours ago BC having meatball sub, and I'm like, you guys can all pretend that BC has a meatball sub right now, but I am the only legit possessor of a meatball sub.
Yeah, I haven't had meatball sub in a while.
I
am looking at this right now, going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Dirk, are you white girl
I know you
wasted?
want me. I know you want me meatball sub.
I think you want that meatball sub inside you.
I do, but I put it down. I said, yo, bitch, back off.
I should do
later,
the hip hop story though. My family is literally cursed. Now this one didn't result
No,
in.
they're not. Your family is totally fine. Their children are fucked up.
Okay, but he was not hurt, luckily. But so my two brothers and my dad, they do a bunch of hunting. I don't hunt, but I go up to camp because I like camping. I like hiking. I like fishing and doing that stuff.
Shooting live things, we know it. Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to shoot stuff. It's that I just don't have the patience to go fucking hunting. Going and being quiet and doing shit and like putting like elk pussy juice on you to like scent in like things and then like having to sit there for like 4 hours
during the open comm show, like while it was broadcast live out in the wilderness, you'd be a fucking man.
I'm saying like I don't like hunting, but I love eating whatever they get when they go hunting. But anyway, so I was up there last weekend, but Garrett took the whole week off vacation, so he's been just up there the whole time. Just at hunting camp. Now they have my dad has a pole camper, for behind a truck and stuff, and then he also has this big old canvas tent. It was like an old military canvas barracks looking tent. It used to have a wood stove in it. He said he's had that tent for 30 years.
Fucking tent at fucking Dick's. Yes.
No. He said he's had that tent for like 30 or something years. And it has a wood stove in it, so it stays warm and stuff. So you can bring it, because hunting season is always in the winter or like late fall, winter. So he would bring it out. It'd be really cold, and you can turn that wood stove on. Not only would it be warm, but when you go out hunting, you get all your clothes and stuff get super soaked. So you can hang them up by the wood stove and get them dried by the next morning and go out again. So
why have we not have Eve Northwest Territories?
I don't know, but anyway, real quick. So. My dad and my older brother, Ghost, they came back. So Hip Hop was the only one out there, and I think he was definitely smoking some pot. Because he definitely
we know Hip Hop is a pot.
No, he's a big pothead, and we live where our place is 10 miles from the Washington border, so he can easily just go over there, get legal super chronic weed, come back over the border. It's he doesn't even have to buy it from legal dealers anymore. He just goes and buys it from the distribution shops. Anyway, so he went up there with a bunch of
which
weed.
is way more high octane.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys talking
people
about
live in Idaho and
You guys were 100% talking about hunting.
Yeah. Well, it is hunting camp, but we're
No,
also about
I,
smoking weed.
100%
by
talking
some
about
people in my
fucking
apartment,
way
and
high alcohol Eve.
And they were all wearing camo, so I was like, whatever, it's Iowa, they're in camo. And then I glanced in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, that guy definitely is standing there with a rifle, and he probably shouldn't be outside because someone's gonna freak out. I live in Eastern Iowa, so Eastern Iowa is a little more liberal, where they're like, oh no, guns, oh no, pickup trucks.
Eastern Iowa is
out here in Idaho, as of July 1st, they just passed a law. You do not need a permit to conceal carry now. Everybody that has the right to own a gun can legally conceal carry without a permit in Idaho now.
Yeah, because of the pot.
It's for crime reduction. Because you know what? If everyone assumes everyone's got a gun strapped to their hip, people are gonna be less inclined to rob them and shit because they'll get shot.
Everybody's getting shot. Hey, party!
But anyway, so Hip Hop was out there. Sorry, Rain. Give me 1 sec. So they have a wood stove. He stokes at the wood stove.
When you say, "Hey, wait, give me a second," are you talking to Hip Hop?
No, I was talking to Rain. I said, "Give me a sec, Rain." Anyway, so Hip Hop. Anyway, So hip hop. He stokes
Go
up the
on,
wood.
ignore me.
He stokes up the wood stove to dry his gear out. He goes into the camper, and he's in the camper just for a few seconds. He's in that camper fucking just, or he's just not by the camper. He's just out there smoking weed. Anyway, he comes.
He's like, fuck yeah, Obamacare.
Fuck yeah, bud. And he like comes out of the camper, and the whole tent's roof is on fire. Like it's a blaze. And he's like,
Blaze it all!
he's like,
Blaze
shit,
it.
the whole tent's on fire. He runs in, he grabs the fire, and he's smart, so he's maybe not so high. He grabs the fire extinguisher, goes and puts
Blaze
the
it, tent 420.
yeah, like 10-4-20 blaze. He grabs the fire extinguisher, puts the fire out, but the whole roof of the tent and the tarp that was over it to keep it from getting so wet, just gone. So rip tent. And he had to.
This is exactly what Eve needs with Citadels. People who are like, it's like, fuck yeah, I put up a goddamn Citadel. Oh shit, my fucking bong blew this shit up.
But yeah,
Yo,
it
there
was.
is actually a bong in the game. You can buy a bong.
What?
I have bought it before
Wait,
and flew it in my
what?
police comet and died a bunch with it.
Yeah, there is an item in the game called Test Bomb, and you can own that. The more you know.
Drayden doesn't like hunting because the gun always turns on him. That's true. That's also why I don't hunt. Because I injure myself when I shoot guns.
Jin-Tan,
Like your
because I
face.
when
live
you
in
were
England.
Yeah,
when you were at
it's
the
still
CSM
there.
Summit, did you ever think, like, did you ever look across the table and say, "Oh my God, motherfucker, how do you not know that about the game you play?"
No, because I was talking to Fozzie, and that motherfucker knew, he can tell you the stats of a pre-retribution site.
Yes, yes,
He's
Fozzie
fucking
can.
insane.
Fozzie can. I'm talking about
Fozzie's
the
good.
other CSM members, though. Like, did you ever look across the table and go, dude, do you even fucking Eve?
Once, twice, but not majorly. And that was only in things that they obviously didn't have too much experience with when they were spitballing. Like there isn't anyone there who just doesn't log into the game, if that's what you're asking. I mean,
No, it's not about does somebody like log into the game, but like, do they not know what the fuck it is they're talking about when they're like trying to make a point?
I don't think we ever had that. We were pretty eloquent people, pretty eloquent group of people. That means well spoken.
He did. I
Probably
don't
went
know.
back
He's
to
like a
OG comms to
huh.
hang with his buddies.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, literally, if I logged in over there, he's like playing Madden.
God, why? American football isn't even a good game in real life, let alone in a video game.
I like American football.
It's all right. It's all right. We hit people.
It's like rugby.
Soccer. I swear
Or
to God,
worse.
I watch soccer, European football. I swear, I get tired watching it.
It's a very skillful game. It's really interesting to see like how fucking good they are. Just like I'm gonna kick this ball 70 yards and it's gonna land right where I wanted it to, and that guy's gonna like.
I don't think that Napoleon, when he was fucking invading over there, would have said, "You know what? I want to do this the way that fucking all you motherfuckers play football."
I don't think
I think
Napoleon
he would've
had
been like,
football
"You know
in
what?
mind
I'm
for
literally
anything.
gonna shove this right up your ass.
I don't think Napoleon had American football in mind either when he went to invade anybody.
No, he didn't probably have that either.
I think he invaded because he's like, you have a bunch of land and
It's
money,
like,
and
how
I
do
want
you
to take
invent
control
that-
of it.
How do you invent a game where it's like, you know what, for like literally 15 minutes, we can pass the ball around, be like, I'm not sure I want to do this, maybe,
Let's go
I don't
basketball.
know, okay? And then like have a guy like Napoleon sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to catch this ball, I'm going to shove it right up your ass.
How did we link Napoleon to sports?
Because sports came out of warfare.
It's probably because I'm here and I'm fucking short.
I don't think.
Well, because there's like literally
Napoleon's
a fucking nerdy
French.
Can't tell
fucking
you're
short
short.
guy
Nobody
here
here is
right now.
French. How did
No,
Napoleon
but even
I-
beyond
I
come
that,
know
into a
100%, so
football
fucking eat my dick.
discussion?
sports came out of warfare, right? Sports came out of warfare.
Did it?
So it's like It did.
It did actually. It was
Okay.
like, you know, it's basically ritualized warfare is what the original sports were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manchester
gladiators.
United is literally like the Spartans of that island.
I just. No.
Arsenal, they sit there and go, no. Well, maybe. Although I like Arsenal, so what the fuck am I saying?
I don't know.
But seriously, sports came out of fucking ritualized fucking militaristic
I can
tactics.
see that. It's sports have been an athletic, challenging thing, which is like, I mean, like even back in ancient Greece, it's like they would have their their athletic competitions that were based on showing
Can
who's
we
the
do
strongest.
something real quick? Can we pretend something real quick?
Yeah.
Just like pretend. Pretend for a moment. Hey, you know what? Thank you for listening to Open Comms tonight. I know that sometimes like you find that these recordings are cut short, but we just want to thank you because like quite literally you guys are the thing that keeps us going. Blah blah, if you heard us out there on the fucking thing. Drayden, hey, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah. Goodbye. Go to Vegas if you're gonna be in Vegas. Check us out. Come down to the Open Comms live show. Come to the zipline thing if you're there on Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Chateau party. Like Vegas would be a blast. And if you're not gonna be in Vegas, watch us on Vegas because we will be in Vegas broadcasting live and we'll have a party.
Later,
Baby.
bitches.
Rain, I swear to
Ciao,
God,
thanks.
you have to do more than the fucking later bitches thing.
Okay, I love
every
you
week you do
all.
later
Like,
bitches.
see you at Vegas. Hi, team. Shout outs. Later, bitches.
Peace.
Peace.
Okay, so now that I've been able to cut that at a fucking like,
Oh, we're gonna keep going.
well, we don't have to, but I mean.
Oh no, we can't.
Oh.
I was
Oh,
like,
is this like the fucking
Oh no.
post?
I just wanna
Dude,
make it,
dude,
like,
if
are
you
we-
want to
like,
fucking have
my
English
video was cut out
breakfast,
so long
I swear to
ago.
God, right now I will go and like fry up a bunch of meat and like one egg.
I've got
Yeah,
pasta
you don't have
leftovers.
onions with your meat. You gotta fry up some onions.
I like
Plate
onions.
full of meat, one egg.
Is that like your breakfast? That's good.
I've-
I hear that's what an English breakfast says.
I've
I mean,
made-
it's like it's sad.
I've made an egg pancake before and I was really proud of it.
A what?
An egg
What the fuck is
pancake.
an egg pancake?
You
It's a pancake
basically
with egg in it.
no. You whip up a bunch of eggs like you're gonna make scrambled eggs, but you put like 5 or 6 eggs in there, and you put it in a pan and you let it cook, and it's almost like an omelet. But instead of folding it in half, you just flip the whole thing, and you let it cook the other side, and then you have this big giant circular just slab of egg, and it's like one giant egg the size of an entire
That
dinner
sounds
plate.
like a lazy motherfucking flipped fucking omelet.
That
Well,
is basic- that
no,
is
because
omelet.
it's not filled with anything. It's nothing but
Omelets
egg.
don't have
It's
to be filled with anything. You can cook stuff inside an
it's
omelet.
like a
Nobody
fried
has
egg.
ever defined a fucking omelet as must be filled with shit.
No, that's what an omelet. It's an egg filled with shit.
Then what
Not
do you call
shit,
it? An
but
omelet.
stuff.
It's still a fucking omelet.
An omelet is a flipped egg thing filled with like cheese and other things.
Yeah, but if you say I'm gonna have an omelet without cheese, do they say no? That's not an omelet, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
You don't
I
need
would.
cheese in the
I would
omelet.
say
And I'm like,
that.
This is
filled with
what
anything.
ruins this show. I swear to God, the people on Crossing Zebras sit there and look at this show and they sit there and go, "These people are fucking idiots because of shit like this."
Well, no, I'm just saying it was an egg pancake because it was the size of a giant
That's what makes
pancake.
us toxic.
It looked
The
like a
people who
pancake.
We
It was
know are toxic.
it was the thickness of a pancake, the shape and size of a pancake, but it was made of egg instead of pancake batter. And I put some salt and pepper on it, ate the shit
This
out
is
of
what
that
people
thing.
on the East Coast of the United States look at you people out there and go, "What the fuck are those goddamn monkeys doing?"
Well, this is what we do up in Idaho. We just think about ways to make eggs.
You guys are horrible.
Yeah.
You, the people in Utah, even those goddamn motherfuckers in Arizona.
Don't compare us
we're
to
not
Utah.
Sure what the fuck is going on out there.
I will say though that the fried breakfast is like England's only worthwhile contribution to fucking cuisine. It's so good. It's like a real fried breakfast is you get 2 to 4 rashers of bacon, and not your fucking shitty American
Hold on,
bacon.
your
Actual
rashers.
smoked,
Rashers
big,
of bacon
thick
are
chunks.
literally bacon that are uncooked.
Yeah, then you fry it. You fry it with a sausage, mushrooms, sometimes onions, but very rarely. More likely you'll have tomato. Then you'll have like either scrambled egg or fried egg, fried bread, fucking hash browns, fucking just like all of it on a plate. So you have sausages, bacon. Oh,
Marshmallow says Yorkshire puddings, filthy southern fury.
Furry.
Not fury.
Furry.
Furry.
Oh.
I will admit Yorkshire puddings are amazing, especially if you have you ever had them with golden syrup?
I don't even know what a
marshmallow?
Yorkshire pudding
That's
is.
great.
When you say golden
Educate
syrup,
me.
do you just mean like fucking sweet maple syrup?
No, it's Lyle's golden syrup. It's a very specific brand. It's
What?
like saying Tim Hortons coffee.
It's like
Canadian.
literally some guy pissed on your fucking bacon.
Probably
Uh,
not.
No, it's like it's a maple. I don't actually know how they fucking make it. I'm not like some sort of maple scientist, but
What is
But it
Yorkshire
is
pudding?
maple though, yes?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It tastes sweet. That's all I know.
Wait, hold on. What is Yorkshire pudding? I
interrogate
don't
me,
I don't know what Yorkshire pudding is.
Oh, it's basically it's just inflated batter.
Like a pancake.
No, because it's in like a cup form. So what you normally do is you have it with a roaster. You put the gravy in this like batter cup, and then you eat it, and it's gorgeous.
Huh.
And I mean like brown gravy, not white gravy. Just to
Right.
clarify.
This is what's messed up about going to the UK, where they're like, oh yeah, have fucking pancakes. And then you get like this plate of shit in your fucking room, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, what?
Yeah.
To be fair, what you guys would call pancakes, I call Scotch pancakes. The big
So
thick
what's
ones.
a non-Scotch pancake?
Really, really thin, flat pancakes. Like
Oh, but it's the same. So it's just the thickness is all.
But not a
Alright.
crepe. But not a crepe.
No, a crepe is usually
Crepes
filled
are
with
different.
fruit.
'Cause crepes would be French, and it's like, fuck those bitches.
Crepes usually filled with fruit and stuff, though.
Well, and that like hazelnut stuff. What do you guys call the hazelnut peanut butter?
Nutella?
Nutella.
Is that
Those
it?
people live on Nutella.
Is that
They
actually what
sit
you're
there,
talking about?
They look at a jar of Nutella and go, "Thank you, Queen."
we don't really live on Nutella. That's like
That's an American thing. They're like, oh, hey, Britain did this. Let's make it like super American and fatty.
I love Nutella. It is good shit. I mean, like honestly, it's like peanut butter, but with like a hint of chocolate to it.
yeah.
Man, Yorkshire pudding sounds fucking delicious.
Drayden, what are you playing tonight?
Normally I play some Tomb Raider, but I try to play that a little bit more like where I'm a little more coherent. Rain will be excited. I've been doing really well with all my puzzles
Oh
lately.
my
I don't
god!
know.
Oh my
I
god!
really hope so,
If
Drayden.
Rain gets fucking excited, we're all excited.
No. Like you saw me the first time I tried to play the game. It was
I
awful.
was calling Drayden.
It was
like,
awful.
trying
Yeah,
to get his
she-
real phone number.
Yeah,
to
she
tell
called
him
me
how
and
bad
yelled-
He was doing.
She called me and yelled at me on stream because I was like
Yeah, 100%.
failing at the intro starter puzzles. No, I've restarted the game and I've been doing really well with the puzzles. I've progressed really far, but I don't think I'm gonna play it tonight. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, League of Legends is there. That's a thing. So I'll probably play that.
I
Wait,
cannot
what'd
play
you
League of
play?
Legends.
League of Legends.
I got banned 7
Rain.
times for toxicity.
Wait, banned for what?
I got banned 7 times total.
7.
5
You're like
times
the
on
you're like the British Tyler 1.
I am.
Oh,
I
that
got banned-
guy?
Yeah,
I
Tyler
got
1's been banned 9
5
times.
on the US and 2 times on the North American
Wow.
side for
Under what?
toxicity.
Like, oh, toxicity.
Do you just
You're like
tell-
that guy who's like, I hope you get bone cancer when someone like
I'm
fucking
not
misses
like,
their
I'm not like
CS.
ocelot levels. I'm like low key, just like BM every
I
game
hope you
because
got
I'm
bone
fucking so
cancer.
mad.
Yeah,
What
I-
the
You-
fuck,
you're just the
Rain?
guy that says GG easy after every game.
Not
I've-
quite that. I was more like, I don't even want to go into it. Like,
I've
yeah,
done it before.
okay.
Like, I I full on rage at people, but there's other times where like the ADC is fucking up, and I'm like, it's okay, man. Like, don't worry, I got you. And then other times I'm just like, what the fuck, you fucking loser! I tower dive. You should have had double kill there. And I'm just like screaming at them.
Yeah.
I tell you what, one day I'll make another account and you'll get to see what I got. Well, I'll probably just try and self-mute myself.
It's
but I'll
so
probably
easy
get
not
banned.
to be toxic. Like toxic is like the one thing you get banned
No,
for.
because
It's like
people are
It's
okay.
kinda
So like,
fun, right?
people
I mean,
are
I think
bad. It's
people
like when you
wanna
play
be toxic.
CS:GO and they don't shoot the enemy, and you're like, why aren't you shooting the enemy? They're like, oh, is that what this game is for? Like, what is teamwork? And like, they don't communicate. Like that. I'm so.
I have the benefit of like whenever I play League, it's usually with someone else in a TeamSpeak or something, so I can just vent my rage into TeamSpeak and not actually have to type it into game, so I never get reported for anything. But everyone in TeamSpeak with me has to suffer for my nerd rage that I'm having. That's not direct. It's directed like they get to hear it, but it's not towards them. So it's like the worst nerd rage to listen to because it's
I'm
like
almost
just shut
wondering
the
if,
fuck
like,
up,
Eve,
play the game.
I'm almost wondering if Eve Nerd Rage is like have we worn off? I think we have. I think that, like there are games out there where it's like they are way more fucking hardcore than we are, but like in an acute basis.
Cute basis?
Like
You too.
more like focused. They are more focused like from a fucking rage standpoint than what like the people in Eve are. It's like we'll let our shit get over with over the course of like, oh shit, let me come down from that, let me relax. Whereas they are more like way, I'm gonna bang your fucking ass with what I'm about to say.
Oh yeah, like
To be fair,
In a more narrow fucking.
the League of
kind of
Legends community is
way of
very
putting it.
toxic. Like when you think the local spam in Eve is bad. Now it can be much worse. It can be definitely.
It's so bad. Fucking local fucking spam right now is
it's
like shit in Eve.
but that's-
it's really terrible.
That's where I think like the local spam you used to get from like Test and Goons and all those people back in the day, where it was just even the most stoic of people would be like annoyed and like triggered by it. League of Legends never got that, but you might have like the one guy once in a while that was like that. But it was just like
the worst
Eve, it's
part
all the
of
time.
Eve spam ever
Yeah.
was always in the groups that you were already with. I swear to God, the fucking shit that was put out there to other motherfuckers out there, like, oh, you're that lone bitch that we just fucking pwned. It's like that was nothing compared to what people had within their own groups.
the most bitter like hate posting I've ever seen came during the Sound Civil War in like 2013 in Providence. That was some fucked up shit. Like I had to actually go in and wade into that thread and be like, "Yo, fucking guys, can you like please chill out? Can we just like not do this?" Because it was like people were legit mad. Like
It's
I
bad.
find that, yeah,
It's bad
whenever
Eve right
someone
now.
feels
I
like
actually
they've been
think that people are
betrayed.
holding back for like, whatever reason. I mean, I feel like they're holding back and saying, you know what, I'm just trying to make this a better place.
What in?
Like in Eve in general. It's like I think they're trying to fucking hold back and like not give what it was we had years ago. Where it was like, now granted, years ago we had like the random dude in some system being a total fucking dick. But nowadays, I think they're like holding back from like spamming. Like even like a fucking your chain if you're from, fucking Goons or whatever. It's like people just don't get into that anymore. They're like trying to totally fucking, if you can't one up it, they're not gonna fucking like get onto it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just like, who cares? Like, I don't play a game to get angry at people. It's just that League naturally made me angry for some reason because I really wanted to be good at it, but I just wasn't.
It definitely
So
has
people
that
have to-
like competitive pull that you just can't resist.
What does that even mean anymore though? Like,
Competitive pool.
I want to be
So
good at it. I mean, what
I
does
want to-
what
I
does
want
Eve
to-
mean anymore about I want to be good at it?
Being good at Eve now is so different to, well, it depends on what your personal perspectives are on Eve, but if you want to quote unquote win Eve, the best way to do that is through diplomacy and social graces rather than by actually being a good fleet commander or a good solo PvPer. So, local spam doesn't help towards that. People want to be beloved.
I still
not
find
hated.
one of the best things about Eve to be the fucking memes. To be the fucking like edgy elements of Eve, where it's like, is there any difference right now between Eve politics and say real politics? There was a time when like,
Probably.
Eve was like ahead of it all, but like right now, it really feels as though it's like, nah, you know what? You are literally no different than what we are seeing out in the real world.
We saw effectively the geopolitical evolution of societies play out in Eve, and currently we're at what I'd say is like we were just recently in the Cold War scenario with N3 and CFC-DRF going against each other, basically just staring across the lines, knowing that if the war started, one of them was going to be left standing, and that would be it, and it would be terrifying. So the war never started, really. I mean, you can say the Halloween War was that, but they never really lost. They made back all their space at the end of it. That was more like a shitty Vietnam for the NCPL. And before that we went through everything. We had World War II, which was probably the Great War. We had feudalism. We've had everything. We've had every system of like international politique go on in Eve, and it's something that I find very interesting. And I think right now what we're in is we're in effectively a post-Cold War but pre-modern age where everything is being run by what are effectively trade blocks and resource control. A lot of what goes on goes out behind the scenes, and because the resources aren't physical in-game resources like money or anything, the resources are leadership. If you have enough leadership, you can maintain a stronger force than any other power right now. I can't tell if you're nodding because you're drunk and you don't understand, and you're trying to pretend you're paying attention, or
Adding
not.
too much like real life stuff to this is like confusing me.
No, because Eve has literally like caught up to the real life portion of things.
No,
Shit.
it definitely has not done that. We have not reached
You don't
the point
think?
where we've reached real life politics yet. I think we still have.
You don't
space
think
to
that
go.
Eve is caught up to real life politics?
No, not at all. I think we're currently in the complexity of around 1970s, 1980s. So like the Cold War is winding down sort of era.
Literally the fucking Cold War ended probably, 18 months ago? Like,
Yeah.
even in Eve time, it ended.
But
and
is
now
it-
we're into
is it
this
really
fucking new
ended, though?
thing where it's like
The
a total
time-
fucking free-for-all where memes dominate. Memes mean more than the fucking fleet you bring out.
Okay, so
Boys, we win
once you
this
guys-
war
you
by
guys are saying-
memes.
You guys.
No
you guys are
shit,
saying,
fucking Rain. I'm like totally fucking serious about that.
You guys are saying memes like they're an ironic thing, but like actually memes are a very complex sociological.
They are.
phenomenon.
No,
Like-
memes are totally fucking complex. But
Yeah,
it
like,
means
there's
that, you know what,
actually a
you
whole
don't
field
actually
of
put
study.
fucking fleets on the battlefield.
Yeah, there is actually like a study done on memetic warfare, like people who will actually try and shape public consciousness through the use of memes and memetic phrases.
Now, mind you, a lot of that takes into consideration the fact that this whole goddamn meta war used to go on before, but it was, it was below the level of guys with guns. All right.
So what you're saying now is that
And
we've
it's
entered the
now
war on
actually taken
terrorism
on
era.
it's taken on a bigger fucking effect than people who are willing to fight in real life or in a video game. I think actually Eve has fucking mirrored. I think it is actually brought to the point where we have reached that point where Eve and the real life have taken on completely the same tactics. That instead of fighting you, I will fucking ridicule you into submission. And before in Eve, that was kind of an after tactic, or it was like an alternative tactic, or whatever. But now it is, instead of fighting you, I will war with you on Reddit. I will beat you before you are willing to put your forces on the field.
Remember, votes don't win wars. But yeah, that's a good point. But I don't think we're at that point. I don't think that's where real life is right now.
Was that not World War B?
World War B was a literal mimetic war, but it was they were like it was so weird. World War B is like the most fucking bizarre, meta-driven conflict that's ever existed in EVE. It's like it's the most it's so fucking weird. If you try and explain it to anyone else outside of like the generic, haha, we killed the biggest empire in the game by all banding together, no one will understand what the fuck you're talking about. Which is why I'm looking forward to seeing how this documentary tries to portray it, because I don't think there's any way they can do it accurately, and also have a narrative that's like understandable. But that's just me. Bear in mind that I fought in World War B and did stuff, was the fucking most ancillary member ever because I'm part of Proppy.
Actually, there was one side that did something in World War B, and then there was like the other side that sat there and said, "We've had enough. We're not going to keep fighting this." But there was an entire meme war that happened outside of that. I swear to fucking God, that was way bigger than the actual war on the battlefield itself. And this is what's
World War meme?
World War meme. That may in fact be the fucking like name for that war, like down the road. World War meme. Because there was way more battling in the fucking metasphere than there was in the fucking something other sphere that I can't think of the word.
The actual real space.
Yeah. The real space that was a fucking video pixel game. There was more shit outside of it than there was actually out, on the fucking space battlefield.
Well, some could argue.
And that's why when I took fucking shit for saying this is not a war, it's a fucking atrocity, it's like, I'm sorry. Call it what you fucking want, but it's like, if somebody comes and rapes your ass and you fucking walk home after that and go, no, I don't want any more of that. Okay? It wasn't actually a war.
You didn't. It wasn't a fight. You guys got banged the fuck in by half of EVE, because you forgot the CFC. You forgot like the original founding creed of the CFC, which was the only way to withstand half the universe wanting to kill you because your culture is so alien to the rest of the game is to have half the other half of EVE back you up. And you guys failed to keep up with the times there, and you failed to modernize your allies, so you got fucking wrecked.
Yep. Totally.
That's pretty much what happened. TN.
Anyways, I'm throwing out Drayden. Brain. Jin 10. Jin 10. God damn, I love you,
Dirk.
motherfucker. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah, man.
You know what? Y'all, be cool. I totally got to fucking roll out. But
Thank you for having me on. I've got to go to work in like half
I'm
an
looking
hour,
right
so-
now
Oh,
at the
shit,
fucking
just in
recording, and
time.
I'm saying, hey, I just want to thank everybody because I need a fucking cutoff point that I can end this show. Thank you for, listening to us tonight. We're totally fucking schmuck lords. We totally know that. E-Vegas coming in just over 1 month. If you are going to be there for, a couple of days before or whatever, you're going to be there on Wednesday. We are going to go out. We're going to fucking zip line, right, Drayden?
Oh yeah, I'm going. I'm
Not
gonna be
Rain, he's
terrified.
not
I'm
coming
gonna be
until the day
terrified, but I'm gonna
before.
do it.
I have to come Thursday, yeah.
But anyways, peace out, bitches. Later.
Later, bitches.
Later, bitches.
Thanks for having me on, FC.
Take care, Jen.
Oh, I'm gonna stream. I'll probably just stream some League after this. So most of you probably don't like League of Legends, but if you do, I'm gonna play it.
Good night.